guys so much for popping that out. I'll restart the intro here. Yeah, as you come through, please hit like. But that is a regular occurrence. We always have technical issues here. What's the obsession popping through here? Saying, hey, friend, don't believe Kim. My sweet G-Chai guys, I think that's some of the frats, told us all about the harm false stories inflict. Thank you for popping through here. Yeah, I'm doing a reaction video tonight to supposedly, right, WSU Kim has called into T-Rev last night. I've done this subject in the past, originally called into the Drunk Turkey Show. I've had Daniel on here to actually talk about it as well. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of give my opinion to see what we think. And yeah, T-Rev had some guests on there as well, as you can see, Detective John being one. So I know that he was pretty suspicious of who this might be. And yeah, hopefully we'll see hopefully T-Rev will pop back through here, give his insight here in the chat. But yeah, also I've got a poll up here. Hopefully the sound is actually fucking working. Looks like it is. Yes. Now I'm paranoid as hell. Do you believe WSU Kim? And then I've got the result saying every word and fucking loon. So we'll see how that goes. Let me actually fix the chat here so I can pop up some of what you guys are saying throughout this thing. Make it ultra interesting, right? The only thing I say, guys, is just keep it respectful. That is literally the only rule that I have. Yeah, just don't be a piece of shit. That's literally the only rule that I have here. Don't personally attack anyone. We're all entitled to our opinions, but here we go, right here. I believe in Kim in some stuff. Just kind of looking through the chat here real quick, because this is a long one. I don't even know if we'll watch all this. She was on here for like over an hour. It's pretty insane. Dr. Thrifty's in here, though. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Shannon, thank you. Appreciate it. New sub, Shannon, also, guys. T-Rev coming, hopefully coming through here. Hang out as well. Keep the trolls to a minimum. I think that's what's going on here in this community. A lot of fucking trolls are lurking. So yeah, we're gonna see what's happening here. Right here, T-Rev live was crazy. Oh Lord, it's already starting in the chat here. Just keep it. Do no personal attacks, guys. I do have a mod in there as well that's going to be keeping eyes out. So, but yeah, otherwise, have fun. We're going to start in here. Let me make sure this freaking sound is working here. I apologize for the very beginning. And again, as you come through, hit that like. Tap it up. YouTube likes that. Share this out. Likes that as well. Immediately after the stream, I'm going live to actually go over the story that's coming out of Oklahoma with the bodies that were found. And that absolute travesty that is going on right now with an absolute piece of shit. As far as I'm concerned, 6 bodies were found, right? And one absolute garbage can of a human being. So immediately after this, it will jump to a new stream. I will post that in the chat here. It'll be a completely new, fresh stream. But yeah, let's get into this reaction vid here for old T-Rev. And again, the T-Rev's link to the original video is in the chat. Go to that, give him some love. Make sure you like his video, 100%. And it's also in the description, I'm pretty sure. And if it's not, it will be.
There we go.
Hey, 34. I don't recognize your voice, so.
Hey, what's up?
You don't have to. Okay.
What's up, though? Now, you and Detective John can have a conversation. Let's go.
So I originally called you to speak with you, the detective, because I had questions, real concerns. And it was like December, and I can send you those receipts if you want my phone records. I have sent you everything. I trust that you will not share what I have sent you. Besides the fact it's the things nightmares are made of, it's heart-wrenching. I'm not here for anything other than the fact that our children are not safe there. And I love police officers. My godfather is a New York City firefighter. I love police. I was taught to call them police officers, not cops, not anything else. I respect them. But when it's bad, or when some are bad, where do you go? Who do you call? Who do you speak to? When you have information you didn't even ask to have, and you wind up with it. And yes, I trust my source. I trust my source. And the reason I'm not gagged is because I said no. If you don't tell me the truth, I'm not going to be gagged. I'm going to scream from every rooftop until there is justice for these children, and until these kids on these campuses are safe. There's 2 campuses here. And yes, there are 6 more dead bodies. One is a U of I student who was a journalism major, who died over spring break when he was in Seattle. And the 2 people who actually are responsible for his death are sitting in jail in Centralia, Washington. Just so you know that. There's another 5 people, including the SWAT kill at WSU. Drug-related suicides. They never tell us the truth. There's no transparency in these schools. Literally, they own me. My life savings is in these schools. I trust them. And my kid just wants to graduate from there. Yes, I moved 2 of my students. They're not going to school there anymore. But these kids are walking around like they're safe and they're not. I'm here because these kids aren't safe, and justice will not be served until every single one of these people involved is adjudicated and is in prison or whatever happens to them. I don't know if Koberger did it. I do not know that. I don't know he did. I don't know he didn't. But if he's my kid, I'm going to say to him, what are you doing? Like, why are you even being considered for this crime? He had to put himself out there, right?
Right. So you're saying that Kohlberger is not our guy? Is that what you're saying? Or is you saying
I'm not saying he is or he isn't. That information I don't know. I do know information that I have given to law enforcement, and I've just now only called the FBI in Virginia because the truth is I do not trust law enforcement, and it's a really uncomfortable way to feel like I can't trust law enforcement.
Sorry, T-Rev was cutting out there.
In Pullman or in Moscow is really hard. I mean, it's just goes against everything I believe, who I am as a person. But they're not being honest. They're not being transparent. The kids know what's going on. The kids are terrified. When my daughter said to me, "Stitches get stitches," that to me is terrifying.
Snitches get stitches.
That's what my daughter said to me. This girl who grew up in this upper middle class home doesn't like where this isn't a thing. It's something she grew up with, right? It's not crime where we live, or she wouldn't know these kind of things. Why does my daughter know this now? Snitches get stitches. And one of the alibis was supposed to be in the same place I was because it was Parents' Weekend at WSU and wasn't there. So what does that tell you?
I don't know if I'm. Can you kind of start from the beginning, because I kind of came into this and I'm out there a little bit. I don't understand where you're coming from. So what are you alleging that you heard or saw or someone told you? Just kind of cliff note it for me so I can.
Okay, I will try.
Okay.
Because I'm a little wound up, and the dude in the corner. I'm sorry if I was rude to you. I didn't mean to be rude to you. It just struck a chord this morning, so I apologize for that.
You owe me no apology. It's okay.
And so it was Parents' Weekend. We have students over at Washington State. Obviously, people know that. And we get an alert on our phone around 5 o'clock or so, 4 o'clock maybe, about the kids being gone. I immediately call one child. My husband immediately calls the other 2. I didn't mean to they knew at 10 a.m. I'm like, how did you know? We knew. We just knew. And I really can't say publicly this part of it, honestly. And I know that frustrates people. I'm not being coy. I'm not looking for attention. I just really can't say that because it might compromise things. I could tell you, detective, this because you're a detective, but I can't just share it publicly with the world. That's not good for the case. I understand that. So
I'm not trying to interrupt you. Am I referring to 3434, or do you have a first name you want to give, or no?
No, I definitely do. You know what? Obviously, people think they know who I am, but I'm not going to do that. No, I don't. You would walk by me and not even know who I'm not looking for notoriety. All right. And I'm not. We already have eyes on my child.
So right you now. You have children at WSU.
I recognize your voice. You're from the video I was looking for. That's not there, correct?
It's not there, but it's not because Kaylee's parents wanted it down. It's truly because people were threatening to harm her. People have threatened to harm everybody. This is not safe.
Okay,
this is dangerous.
so let me back up a little bit here. So,
What's the Obsession coming through here with a super chat here? Give me 1 sec. Let me make sure I got that up here on the screen. $4.99. Thank you very much. You don't say no. You don't say no to a gag order. That's not how it works. She's not under the gag order because she's not relevant. So, super annoying. Yeah, she would definitely not be under any kind of a gag order. Well, we learned today that the Consalves family isn't even under the gag order. That was news to me. That's all we've been hearing, right? That they were under the gag order this entire time. Turns out they're actually not under the gag order either.
So if I'm understanding this right, you have children that go to WSU.
Correct. I did have 3, but now I have 1, and she walks in a few days.
So what you're saying is at 10 a.m. on the morning of the homicides, at 10 a.m. before anyone else knew, that your children knew and some other students knew about the homicides.
Correct.
So the phone calls that allegedly went out from the survivors could have, or social media could have got out to any of them. So yeah, they would know about it before the police even knew about it. Is that what you're alleging? Okay.
Yes, correct. And then I did call the FBI immediately.
Okay.
Now you said all right, so a lot of people in chat are saying you said you were there on the 13th.
Hold on. That was edited. What I said was I called FBI November 13-ish. I now only call the FBI office in Virginia, but I was calling Moscow Police Department, local FBI in the beginning, not beginning until I stopped trusting them. So how do you think this video is edited? 3434. Do you think something is missing, or do you think something was added? Because I don't think this video is edited. I'm just gonna say that.
I was there. It was Parents' Weekend.
Okay.
And the reason my daughter didn't tell me right away is because she loves school. She loves college, and she knows I would have put her.
Hollis, Detective John is a retired detective with credentials. I really like that dude on here because he was asking really good questions. Like, I like that dude, man. T-Rev's got a good one there with Detective John. I've heard him mention him numerous times. This is the first time I've actually seen him.
Her ass in the car and taking her home. Like, it wouldn't even have been a question at that moment.
Is there an invite or an email that went out to you inviting you to Parents' Day?
Well, I think.
Or T-Rev, can you look that up? Go to Washington State's website and look up when Parent Day was.
And you have my daughter's name and you have my full name, right? And please, I'd ask you not to share it, but feel free to go through.
No, I'm not going to share it. You asked me not to.
And I sent the things I sent to you privately because, well, first of all, they're horrifying. I get that. How could I even make that up? Like, how could I even make that up? And I don't think that all of the family members know about it. I only know about it because
$13.99 super sticker. Wait a minute. Holy shit. Is that? Holy shit. What happened to that? Yeah. I totally forgot about that sound effect. Thank you very much for that $13.99. Appreciate the shit out of it. It's a dope ass sticker too. Look at them sunglasses. I hear circus music. Dope name as well. Thank you.
The kids talk and the kids are terrified. But they're not terrified to not misbehaving or going out and being feral kittens out there in the bars. They're still going out.
So let me ask you this. The video that I had T-Rev pull up where the good vibes sign is. Without telling us what you put in the email, am I onto something right there where there could possibly be not a body, but bodies?
Yeah.
So where is that good vibes? Where is that sign at, T-Rev?
Well, I don't actually.
Right there.
So I think is it right outside the kitchen? My assumption.
I'm thinking that's that area that they spend a lot of time in. Is that where that is, T-Rev?
Yeah, okay, so you come up the stairs right here, and you go down this hallway is Xana and Ethan, where Xana and Ethan were. You walk past where they're standing right here straight, and you pass the good vibe sign. Dylan's room's to the left, kitchen to the right, stairs to go upstairs to go to where Maddie and Xana were. Or I'm sorry, Maddie and Kaylee.
Jay.
So that's probably...
Whoa, real quick. Yeah, Jay, thank you for popping in here, brother. Thursday, Jay, and while he's in chat, pop his channel up real quick and go follow him as well. Has a dope-ass channel, dope-ass Twitter, hilarious dude. He's going to be on here Thursday, and we're going to be going over some stuff and doing some reactions. Thank you, brother, for popping in here. Appreciate it.
If I've got this right, that's probably the hallway in between.
And a $3.99. I keep pausing out the gate. And this is a long one. I'm so sorry, but $3.99 super sticker by Willow. Appreciate the hell out of that. Wait a minute. Oh, appreciate that. ODB appreciates the hell out of that as well.
Toward the stairs and the kitchen. Am I right?
Right. And yes, and there was somebody in. Well, so I don't know that I can say it.
Well, if you're not under a gag order, then you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I think. I know, but I still also have, like a brain and a conscience, and I don't know if I should say out loud. I will tell you privately, but I don't feel like for the general public, because I don't know what all the parents and the families know, and I'm not going to deliver that information. When I spoke with Olivia, and Olivia actually contacted me, I didn't contact her. What I've said all along is I don't know Kaylee's family, but I do know they're gagged, and I'm not speaking for them, but I'm just keeping it on page 1, because on page 1 we'll get justice eventually. I don't want it to go cold.
Holy shit, there's a lot of fucking people in here.
Careful.
240 people in here and 61 likes. Hit that like button. What are y'all doing? Help this stream out. Dear God, just sitting in the back. Just fucking sitting in the back. My God.
You're not safe. That's my purpose.
Inevitably, this is all going to come to fruition anyway. We're going to know everything about this case, and I don't think divulging the way that the bodies were left is going to affect anything. I mean, it's so whatever you know or you heard. We can only assume that it's third-hand information, and you take that like a grain of salt. But if you're saying that bodies were removed from the rooms and piled up in a pile,
I didn't say they were in a pile. I did not say their bodies were in a pile. I didn't say that.
No, I'm just giving an example.
Right. Okay.
So from what you heard, third hand from so-and-so's cousin, brother, sister, mother, whoever.
Right.
So what you heard, I don't see there being any problem in you telling us what you heard about the crime scene, because you're not under any gag order.
Right. And they did call me and ask me not to speak. And they asked my kids to sign the statement. I said, and excuse my language, but I said, fuck the fuck no. Are you kidding me? You guys can't even tell us the truth. You can't be transparent with us. I'm not signing a gag order. I'm going to continue talking until you are transparent and honest and let us know that these kids are safe, because they know there was more than one person there.
Can you refuse to sign a gag order?
Yeah. I don't know. I did. They didn't. It wasn't in writing that they sent me. They just called.
What do you mean you don't?
Who is they?
Detective John, can you refuse to sign a gag order?
Well, if you're not part of the process, then you shouldn't even be subject to gag order. If she's not a witness.
My information is in the evidence.
But anybody, okay, for one, hold on for a second. Whether this is or isn't, Kim, I don't even fucking know. But what he's saying is 100% true. Like, if you're not actually a part of this case, you're not going to be, affected by the gag order. And then she said, but I've sent in, I don't even think she said I've sent in evidence. She's just contacted the FBI. You're right here, 3434. You've contacted the FBI, but I don't think that would, subsequent. That'd be half of America right now would be a part of the gag order if that was the deal. I guess maybe if like they're using something specific, but you would be like a part of the case and maybe even be, I guess maybe because she mentioned she has kids around, right? Maybe the kids would be affected or able to be called into this. I don't know. I'm trying to make that make sense.
Here's the problem.
That's what I was telling you, Detective John. The things that she told me would be only known to people who know what the evidence is.
It's in the evidence.
Gag orders are a very fine line because it's impinging on free speech. if it's going to affect the outcome of a trial, then a judge could try to hammer you on it. But I'm telling you right now, gag orders don't hold up a lot in court.
Right.
When a gag order is specifically used for the most part is in civil cases, when you have a judgment against you or you reach some kind of an agreement. Say I'm suing you for $500,000 for whatever, and you're the owner of a business and you agree to settle that case with me for an undisclosed amount. Let's say it's $450,000. But under the stipulations of that, you agree as a gag order never to discuss it with anyone. And if it's found out that you did, then I can come back as the owner of the business and sue you and recoup my money. So that's what gag orders are mostly used in court. They're not. They're used a lot more for civil cases than they are for criminal phase cases.
And I will
dirty.
Tell you, these Greek kids, because I have some on Greek, they have signed NDAs. It's part of it. They're not allowed to speak. Stitches get stitches, and my blood ran cold when my kid said that. And the thing is, they're lying from the onset because the original story
Detective John just stops. You're under arrest.
Is exactly what the original story was. That the surviving roommates were downstairs, locked behind Bethany's bedroom door.
See how she's stepping over in that video right there, bending down with the swab? There's a body there. I'm telling you right now. There's a body right there where she is.
I don't ever think that they intended for Ethan to die. I think that I might as well. So
you're kind of telling me right there that that's Ethan's body.
But he woke up. He was hit in the head, and he woke up.
Well,
he wasn't supposed to die.
We can speculate on a lot of things, but also if as a man, and I've got a fighting history, and I'm sure T-Rev probably does too. But if you look at him in a traffic stop, if you look at his right hand, his top two knuckles are swollen and red, like he's been in a knockdown drag out. When you punch somebody in the head, you tend to break knuckles. Go to that traffic stop, T-Rev.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying about his hands, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that Kohlberger didn't do it. I'm just saying he's not the only one.
I got scars on my hands from it.
I was watching this earlier, and this dude was just like rolling L's. I thought he was just trying to show it off. I'm like, I can't quite see it. I can't quite see it. He's just trying to show his hands.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, I remember that traffic stop though, dude. His hands look swollen, right?
Knuckle right here is jacked up. See it on the end? That's from hitting a heavy bag without anything.
A heavy bag do it to you too?
Yeah.
Well, and he obviously fights. Look at his nose. Now, here's the other thing. I have a really hard time with Washington State University allowing him to continue to teach in classroom 12 when my kid was in classroom 13, and also to be a person who's trusted to walk students home. That's a huge deal. And so I called the school and I said to them, and I'll tell you who I spoke with, and you can double check with her, Heather, in the Dean of Students office.
Okay. She's saying her testimony is in evidence.
And I asked her, I said,
I literally just don't know, like, legally how that would work, if like they'd be effective. I mean, if you are under any kind of gag order, you're literally just dancing around YouTube channels. So that doesn't make a lot of sense.
How did you even hire him? And they said, we're in a meeting right now trying to figure out how we're going to handle this. Now, he had been arrested already. He was not fired prior to that. He was, yes, but
I'm really not sure either way. My thing on this video is, I'd almost see it. Is this the WSU Kim? Is this the same lady that had called into the Drunk Turkey show and given a lot of the same information? It sounds a lot like her. It sounds just like her, really. I'm just saying, I don't trust shit anymore, man. Trolls lurk these fucking rooms like madness. Everybody's room has been flooded with this stuff, and everything's starting to crop back up, and everything's starting to get hot again. So I'm just really, literally not actually sure. 3434 has been in my chats for months, has been in my comment section. We've talked. I have no literal clue. Daniel from Drunk Turkey didn't know either, just to be clear.
under review. I've never had one. I have 7 children. Not one of them have ever liked a TA. They're full of themselves. They're a little boastful. They got some ego going on, which they've earned, and they think they can do it better. They're not seasoned yet, right? It's kind of the nature of a TA. I get it. He had changed his whole way of grading or whatever, and interacting with students, perhaps because he listened to his advisor, or perhaps not. Perhaps it was just because he, was going on adrenaline from what he had done.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Just to this point, Mr. L's family cannot be gagged. Talking is part of the healing process. I mean, if the Consalves family that I did think was gagged, and now I'm learning that they aren't gagged. I mean...
I don't know if he did it.
Too many
I'm
questions.
Not standing up for him. I just know for a fact that the roommates, or the surviving roommates, saw more than 3 people outside. And
that's actually more like what's truth right there. Quahu, eyewitness murder point blank in NorCal, wasn't even called to court.
Than 3 people inside. That's all I know. And they thought that they were being shaken down to keep their mouths shut. That's what I know. And
so
they did. I don't.
You're saying that there's 5 people involved, or
there's more than 5 people involved. Yeah, I don't have an exact number. I can't give you an exact number, but I do know that some of the students were involved, Sigma Chi's. Some other students, and I don't know if they're all Sigma Chi's. I know some of them were in different frats. AP was a part of it, and I don't believe the students knew anybody was going to die.
I've done videos on this subject before on WSU Kim. I've never actually spoken to them and never been verified who a source that I would think that would be the one would be Daniel from Turkey, who initially had her on there. Whether you think it's a real situation or what she's saying is true or not, the actual first lady is what I'm talking about here. And how do you verify that at this point? Like just by the voice? Because, I mean, I was actually trying to match it up to another person earlier, and it was pretty damn close.
I think they just knew they were getting a warning. And
I literally just don't know. That was the whole thing about my previous videos even. Like, not in the previous videos of WSU Kim. Those were actually about what's going on. But those were basically still, like, I don't actually know what's going on. It's a discussion. Whether you believe her or not, that's your opinion.
To keep their mouth shut. And I think somebody owed money, and that has a part of it. That's what one of the kids.
Who is they?
Who is they? What do you mean?
Yeah,
they.
Because you said they a lot.
That's what I said earlier too. Who is they?
They are the people. They are. So the students aren't going to say a word. And when I called the FBI, I said, you can either believe me or you don't have to, but this is the information I've been given by students who are not going to speak to you. But I still feel like I should give it to you. So I did. They took the report. I was called back. I know it's in the report, included in the report, because the investigator for the defense called me, and he verified that it was in there. That's how he got my name and number. And I still said, I'm not giving you the name of the students who gave it to me, because I'm not doing that to them. Either you believe me or you don't,
money.
And you investigate what I've told you, or you don't.
That's news to me. Everybody crazier than hell.
But I'm not the only parent who did that. And there were a lot of things in the beginning that, so they said they had how many, 10,000, whatever, I don't know, but how many of those were from the same person? I guarantee you I called them over 500 times, literally. So did other mothers. Ethan sent a text to a boy, and that mother tried calling law enforcement in Moscow for 15 days. That was the last text message anybody has any awareness of or did that Ethan had sent.
So was Ethan sending out a message as they were being attacked, or are you just saying?
I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't have that. I don't know that. I'm just saying that's just an example of why law enforcement, we don't trust law enforcement. Washington State University had 4 officers, the school's officers, removed or quit or whatever and fired because of sexual inappropriate contact with students. Like, These schools are running under their own set of rules. They don't listen. They don't care. They are. It's insane. I don't even understand as a human being, an adult, and a parent, how you don't say to a kid.
Missed this one. Haters gonna hate coming through with the super chat. Let me get you the banger right quick, Bob. And then read it. Oh fuck. She claims to know so much, however, say the kids are in danger, but yet hasn't said one damn thing to protect anyone, not one. Yeah, I mean, I literally just don't know. It's even coming on here and try to give an opinion about this or that, man, there would need to be like some kind of like, dude, I come on here and show my face. We all come on here and show our face. Again, you know, maybe you're under the gag order. You don't want this or that out. Come on. And she says she lives there, I guess. Maybe that would be the fear of not coming out if you know so much. Like, I don't know. Like, it's all fucky is what it is. It's weird as shit. And again, going back to the initial stuff, I've made videos on this. I was behind a lot of the stuff really just because I like to think outside the box, and I've had tons of conspiracy streams. We're watching this right now. T-Rev's wearing a tinfoil hat in this video, right? Like, it's not lost on me what we do here. Like, I have tons of fun on this stream, but also when you get down to brass tacks in the business, at the end of the day, we want actually who's responsible for this to be caught, and we want actual evidence to be shown. So, I don't know. So the initial person in some of those videos with Drunk Turkey, whether you believe that or not, that's your opinion. I'm saying I'm not sure if this is the same lady. And I know you're going to say it. It sounds just like her. Today I was literally matching up the voices, and I agree. It does sound a lot like her, but I'm really not sure. It's hard to make an opinion on something like that when there's nothing but trolls lurking everywhere in these communities. It's fucking weird, man.
When I call the school and say, they just offered my kid cocaine. Is that okay? Wouldn't you go and check that out?
I mean, if it's not an employee of the school that's offering them cocaine, I don't see why it matters to the school. I mean,
Drunk Turkey popping through even.
Okay, so it's on Greek Row in one of the fraternity houses. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point to the thing with the hands. Holy shit. And he even mentioned if he hit the bags, that makes sense. Holy shit.
Employee of the school, though?
No, actually not. But but isn't there
this guy really fucked her up? I don't even know that dude's name, but he really fucked her up the whole time.
Code of conduct?
Can I ask you a question? And I'm not going to divulge what you've said, but inside of the email you stated something was taken. I'm not even going to say what it was. But
I know.
You know what I'm talking about? How do you know that?
Exactly what you're talking about.
How do you know that? Now, that's all I want to ask.
Through students.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna say.
And there's more than one weapon, so that we're chasing down a knife that goes in a sheath. That probably there was more than one weapon.
Hey, Kristen, thank you for being here.
There's all kinds of rumors that start after homicides, like
Kristen, keep an eye out for fucking psychopaths
like of this nature. I mean, you're chasing bad leads, bad info all the time. People start this rumor, gossip. You know, oh my God.
All right, now this is not true. I mean, your one thing earlier, Ahmad, and you didn't answer it. This is 100% what I was asking. If you thought see on YouTube when you could take something out. But this is way too fluent. This is not cut, clipped, edited all over, T-Rev truth up, and what did everyone you contact say? Cap yourself, little boy. Next kid who shows up dead is on you. Like, that, it's making me, and to come into the chat and act like this is making me believe more and more this is probably not even the same person. I'm telling y'all, it's probably a troll out here. Like, who would come and act like that? Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's just too much fucky bullshit. There needs to be actual receipts that come up on these things. Everybody just talking on the side of their heads, including me.
Cut his penis off. He cut the breast off.
Get the evidence, bro.
Did this. He did that. You know, that stuff, I'm telling you, in cases I've had one here at a local, college that we have here, where a guy was stalking a girl, and you wouldn't believe the stories that the parents were told by friends that weren't even remotely true. So, I mean, I just don't understand why you were so afraid. And I'm just going to be candid with you. I find it hard to believe your story, because it's just kind of out there. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just sounds like a bunch of gossip to me. I mean, there could be some truth to it, but what is motivating you to come forward and even talk if you can't tell us anything?
Right.
Well, okay, so because I think that the kids all think that they arrested him, he's good. A lot of the students think that, except for the students who know that there were more than one person. So I think that false sense of safety is a huge problem and very scary for me, and also for justice to be served. If only one person goes to prison for this or gets whatever happens to him for this, then others walk again and more people die. 6 more people have died between the 2 campuses since the 4. And kids keep dying.
Well, kids die all the time.
I mean, everybody dies.
That doesn't mean it's related to this.
I get it, but not like that. Do you not think that's an unusually?
So you know of other kids that have been hacked or stabbed to death with the same MO as the case. You know of cases right now.
Overdose. They're all from overdoses.
Well, that's what
I'm asking you, because we haven't heard about any.
Right now, for killing the U of I journalist who knew too much. They're killing kids who know too much. Kaylee, I don't think Kaylee was being.
I did talk to Daniel. That's what I'm asking you right now. That could probably sum this up. You reach out to Daniel, he could circle back around. This is the same person that reached out to me before. That would actually sum it up real quickly.
I think she was picking.
He was literally just right here in chat.
Maybe he is a weirdo. Maybe he did do this. I don't know. But she was a little sleuth. She was a super sleuth. She was. If you ask anybody, that was kind of her thing. And I do know one of her very good friends. I don't know these kids personally. There's tons of kids. My kid goes to a different school, but she also goes to school with one of the victim's siblings. So I do know things. And
can I ask you this question? Is one of the people that told you any of that information ever called into my show before after Detective John addressed?
I don't know. No, I don't know that. I wouldn't know that.
You know what I'm talking about, Detective John?
You cut out right there. What were you asking? I'm sorry.
Remember we had somebody you addressed. All I have to do is say one word and you'll remember. Brokeback.
Right.
Oh.
Remember, David? They didn't really call in, but they definitely hit me from their legit Facebook account.
What did you say his name was? Brokeback?
Yeah, it was just a theory. I'm not even gonna mention his name, but it's still on live. It's still on one of my lives right now.
I will look, but I think it's probably Sigma Kai guy.
It's a good point, Creepy Crystal. Yeah, the voice was sped up. That is true. Because it was such a long phone call on the original thing. So I'd actually have to look at. I don't know which one I was looking at. I'd have to look at that.
These
Creepy Crystal. That's a good fucking point.
These kids' parents are connected.
I still don't think that this video is edited either. I will say that. Like you're saying, it's really clipped all up. I don't think that. And again, if this is Kim, WSU Kim, let's just put that there with who we think this is, 3434. I mean, what? Are you just so frustrated that like nothing is happening with the case that you want to get the real story out there? Like what is going on here? Like this is a lot. Like this is you're in the cesspool of YouTube right now.
Very well connected. And can I just also say this? Not all kids who are in Greek are privileged. I mean, yes, a lot of them are, but they're not. These drug dealers aren't on Greek Row because they have more money. They're there because they know they need to keep their mouths shut, because they know they're not allowed to speak. It's like a steel trap.
Let me ask you, why kids today do not keep their mouths shut? There's too many avenues for them to speak. We're not getting anything remotely close to what you're saying leaked out anywhere. And you know, the snitches get stitches bit. Are you alleging that they're, if they speak, that the police are going to come beat them up or hurt them or harm them in some way? Or are you saying there's another entity like some drug dealer or something that's going to come after them? Which are you alleging here? Because you're all over the place. I'm trying to hammer you down here.
There's a lot too. Yes, and I appreciate that. There's a lot to unpack.
There's a fucked up thing to say right here. Like, what are we doing?
Let me start here with that answer. If you go back and look at Kaylee with Officer Payne, when Hunter was circling around her about the noise complaint, watch her body language.
I literally have no clue. I don't know. Like, I'm not here to. I don't think it's possible to really get 100% answer on that. Like, that's where I'm at on the whole thing, man. Like,
that's what I would suggest doing, and then you tell me what you think. And
you're talking about when he had the zip ties on his wrist when they're doing the drinking game.
Well, I don't know what they were. Well, the noise complaint. It was a noise complaint. She was in the orange dress.
And they were out on the back patio, and he's got zip ties on his wrist. It's a common drinking game.
Right, and I know that
college students do.
Right, right. But Kaylee, who is always open and is always gracious from everything we've ever seen or heard.
Yeah, no, a lot of people did think it was her because of the voice and the way they were speaking, the cadence here. Yeah, come on. Yeah, right here. Drunk Turkey. Come on here, brother. If you could jump in the Discord, I can get you on here. It might take too long to get the video, but I can get your voice on here quick. If you want to do that, brother. I'll look for you to jump in the waiting room.
She was in that encounter with the law enforcement as well. She was very professional, very.
She was professional. She was obedient.
I thought she was very, very, very nice, very sweet, very respectful.
Go back and look at it again.
I did watch it. I just watched it the other day because I picked up before when I said that the foundation had blood running down it. That's a good video to confirm that was blood because that was prior to the incident, and you can see in the background that same area, and there is no blood. So
is that the same area, or is that in the front of the house?
No, it's off the back porch where there were the sliders, but you can see in the background, you can see that same area that has the blood running down the foundation that seeped in through the walls down the foundation.
Family weekend.
So I went back and looked at that. I watched that video.
I respect you and your opinion, and I just respectfully disagree with you that her body language was, I hate you. And I
think it was totally normal. I think her body language was totally normal. There's nothing about her. She wasn't shaking. She wasn't doing it. She was totally fine. She was used to it.
The son of a bitch out. That's what we're going to do.
Noise complaints all the time. You can tell she was used to it.
People want to know in chat why aren't the things that you were claiming that put out in proof in these chats? Why aren't you speaking it on the panel?
Aren't I right now?
I mean, not really,
because you're not telling me anything really. I mean, I'm trying to be open-minded.
T-Ball's coming through with a super sticker. Let me hit you with it. Appreciate that. Hopefully Daniel did not run away before he saw that message. I'm way behind in chat if he did. Understandable. We'll try to get him on here if he comes back through. He says he thinks it's her. Here we go. T-Rev saying edited a live video. Now, the only thing that you can do, T-Rev, you can go back and you can snip off some of this, but I do not think that happened. Like, this whole thing has been fluid. You can tell when something's been snipped because I do it all the fucking time. Like, I always fucked up. I just did it to my last stream on Friday because half of the middle is fucked up with the volume, and the beginning of this one's fucked up with the volume, and I'm going to go and snip it. But to say that it's snipped all to hell is really, that's not true. Like, I don't think anything's missing. I'm going to 100% say that.
With you and wrap my head around what you're saying, but you're dancing all over the place. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Let me ask you some questions.
Perfect.
So
T-Rev, thanks for popping in, brother.
Was there more than one according to the info and the intel that you have, was there more than one suspect? Is there more than one perpetrator here?
Yes.
Yes or no? So
all right. Daniel, make sure you're in here. Can you hear me, dude? Yeah, let me make sure you're good here. Let me make sure you're good here. I think you're good. Say a couple things. Can you hear me? What did I do? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you are. Welcome to the show. Daniel from Drunk Turkey Show. What's going on, brother?
Not much, my man. Just hanging out. I was catching you on the live, and I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents.
I'm glad you did, because this shit's getting crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell's going on. I guess that 3434 JJJ has called into to Lana's channel, has called into T-Rev yesterday, which is the one I'm actually reviewing here. And I actually messaged you before we went on live here, because 3434 did message and told me to reach out. And at first you weren't sure, but yeah, what do you think, man?
Well, in the last couple of minutes, Kim actually called me and she confirmed to me that she is 3434. So that is Kim.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. I did speak with her. When it comes to Kim, there's a couple of things that can be right at the same time, right? You can be told things, you can speculate, you can be right, and you can be wrong. And I don't know when it comes to what she says as far as some of the speculation stuff. Some of it's a little out there, but I do know a couple of things. I have confirmed that her name is Kim. I know what her last name is too. I do have her phone records that she sent me, and she did make contact with the FBI and has talking to the FBI. And I know that that her kids are who she says they are. I was able to confirm those things, and that her friends of her children are who they are. Now, when I spoke with Kim, I realized early on, and you know, I've talked to a lot of people who were witnesses, a lot of people who've been victims, a lot of people that have been suspects, and I know when somebody's got, you know, invested into a certain area, like for instance the Pullman, Washington, Moscow, Idaho area, because she has kids there. I understand that a person could get really invested into what's going on there, especially while there's a mass murderer on the loose. You know, Brian Koberger was on the loose for a few weeks there. Now, when I talked to her, and me and the guys, we can all attest to it, there was quite a bit of speculation, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't told anything. And so, you know, the things that I was able to gather were that, you know, she did have kids that attended the school. Those kids were told about or notified of the incident prior to law enforcement or the 911 call. And that at least one person inside the house had seen one of the people's in there, and that there was at least possibly one or two other people outside. Now, the rest of the stuff, you know, a lot of it is speculation, and
there's a lot of speculation, yeah.
Right, and you know, I don't blame her for speculating. You know, if I was in her shoes, I'd be, you know, if I had a child that was attending college in that area, I would be looking up on every single YouTube channel, every news organization, everything to try to you know, find out what's going on, especially while somebody's on the loose. And you know, when I talked to her, she had brought up some things that were speculatory and, you know, things that people had heard. Now, if you go and listen to Enan Harsh on Lena's TNT show when she had him,
I remember that.
He said some things that were very similar to what Kim had heard. You know, that the rumor around town was that this was drug related and it had something to do with Adam or something of that nature. And Kim had said something very similar. So if she's getting the information from her kids and her kids live in that town and that town is spreading that rumor, I don't understand why that's just unbelievable for her to have heard that. Now, if that's the case, or is that true, I don't know.
Right. That's where I'm at in a lot of this. And really, dude, and the way I was coming at this to begin with, and I was trying to get through to you. I wanted you to do it earlier. I was trying to compare the voices as well, and I was having a tough time. They were super similar, but like, it's just like I said, dude. I think it's kind of wild that she's chosen. Maybe it's because this is the neck of the woods of YouTube that is so deep into it. But I do find it kind of wild that she's in these chats getting that wild. Like,
yeah, like I'm not familiar with the other chats. I've seen some of the things that were said tonight. Yeah, it's not a good look, to say the least. But
like, that's where I was. And honestly, before you said, I mean, honestly, you know, we've worked together a lot. Before you said that, I was pretty sure it probably wasn't her, and that's where I was leaning. I was like, this person's going way too wild. But I mean, I don't know, man. If you're screaming at the mountaintops and nobody's listening, maybe that's where she's at. I try to look at it from all sides. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I'm not saying, you know, that what she's saying is 100% true. I don't know.
Right.
I really don't. But I do know that she's, from my point of view, she's been told some things. And whether those things that she's been told was true when they were relayed to her, I don't know. Now, when it comes to multiple people being outside, we know there was multiple people out there. You have the DoorDash driver and possibly Brian Koberger out there. So there's 2 people there. You know, the fact that this is what she had told us. And like I said, when you talk to, like nothing against any other creator or anything, but if like, for instance, you know, Olivia's, you know, deal there, she kind of ran with the speculation that she was going through, right? She, instead of putting down, because there's more than one thing that can happen. You know, you can be told something, right? Let's just say, and I'll take this situation completely out of the equation, right? And you can be told that somebody was in an accident, right? And you can be told that it happened at 2:00 in the morning. Then you can also speculate that the person that was operating the vehicle was drunk. Now, you may not have been told that, but that's your speculation based on the information that you have.
Right.
And so I think that's where a lot of the information, and that's where the mix-up is. She can be told something and then speculate based off of the information that she has. Now, she has contacted the FBI and the Moscow Police Department. I've seen her phone records for whatever that's worth. Like I said, whether or not her speculation is correct, when we interviewed her, and if you guys go back and watch it, we emphasized that there was some speculation, and we had to differentiate what the speculation was and what she was told, because those were 2 different things. And in Olivia's situation, and what she had came forward with, was a lot of the speculation aspect of it, not so much what she was told. And so, you know, it happens, you know, especially if you're, I guess, not trained in figuring those 2 different things out, and bringing that forward. And I'm not saying anything negative towards Olivia. She's a great person, and, you know, she's done some great work, especially interviewing the Gonçalves family and talking with them and things of that nature. And so, but, you know, if you don't know, like, how to differentiate those things and understand, you know, different types of people in their situations, and understand where they're coming from, you know, like, I've been in that situation talking to witnesses and victims and during interrogations. Now, I wasn't a detective or any of those things, like I believe Detective John is, that's on this panel, and he even says there at one point when I was watching you that he doesn't think that you know, some of those things could have some truth into it. And I think he can, you know, if he were to sit down and listen to her and fully, I think he'd probably say the same thing, that she probably was told some things.
It's a weird place to have this conversation anyways. I think that's my main point here, is like, there's so much hostility coming in from all kinds of points. Like, it's hard to have a real honest conversation. I mean, it really is. It's a weird place to have this convo. Like,
no, I agree. And, you know, maybe it's to the point where, you know, I think Kim really does suspect that there was more than one person involved, and that maybe perhaps somebody's being protected, so to speak. Now, I'm not saying if that's true or not true, but, you know, if she feels that way and feels that somebody's still out there, and that, you know, when she brings up, you know, the other people that are passing, it's not so much that she's bringing up that that they're responsible, or it's the same person that committed this crime, as much as, you know, these things continue to happen without accountability, and the University of Idaho, or WSU, you know, aren't doing what they're supposed to do to keep those kids safe, especially when you have so many kids passing away. It seems like their priorities are more in the tuition from the children, and the financial needs of having, you know, these colleges full, versus the safety of the people inside the college. And I understand that aspect of it. But, you know, like I said, the rest of it, I don't know if it's true or not. I know what T-Rev is referencing to when he's speaking about the emails and knowing certain things and aspects.
Yeah.
She had told me the same thing, but in my conversation with her, it sounded like something she had heard or was rumor, not so much something she was told. It was more of something that was the rumor or that she read on Reddit or some of that nature. It wasn't what she was told. And like I said, there's two different things. There's your speculation and information that you were told. And so when we interviewed her, we wanted to just put down the information that she was told and not so much the speculation aspect of it. And so that's why we didn't go down that avenue. You know, she told me those things, and I can't remember which one it was. I have it recorded. I have our conversation recorded between me, myself, her, Big Blue, and Jaime. We had it recorded just in case there was a situation that we needed to recall information or anything like that, just to kind of protect ourselves. And that's something that was never aired out. And I had promised her I wouldn't air it out, and I'm not. And you know, we were told certain things, but some of the things that she was telling us was, you know, it seemed like it was out of, you know, Facebook groups or Reddit or whatnot. And we had to differentiate that between what her kid told her. And what her kid had told her was that there was multiple people out there that night, that somebody in the house witnessed the person, saw the person inside the house. And that the reason why 911 wasn't called was because they called the sorority people first and friends first before they called 911, which are all things that we kind of know already.
Yeah.
You know,
I've done a few shows on that. Yeah.
So it's not too far fetched from those aspects, but you know, like I said, I don't know. I don't go down the whole Reddit stuff or rabbit hole in that manner, and when somebody calls in with information or tells us some information, you know, I first want to make sure that the person, and like when I say we vetted her, I wanted to make sure she was who she was. You know, she is a mom, and she does have 2 children that attend WSU. I've seen their ID cards for school. I've seen her phone records. I've tracked her down on social media. That's not something that she had showed me.
Right.
I was able to track down her children from social media. I was able to track down the athlete in which was friends with some of the people that were involved here. And those things lined up. Now, the other stuff, I mean, there's no way of being able to vet out those type of things without having the evidence in front of you.
That's true.
If that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense, dude. Yeah. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on and actually shedding a little bit of light on this entire thing. And like, just, man, like, I just wish that, you know, at the end of the day that it wasn't so vile on all sides. Because, you know, the thing, I've mentioned this 1,000 times on here. We have freaking camps that we're all assigned to for whatever reason. There's no reason to be in these camps. Like, you can have differing opinions and still be friends at the end of the conversation. But, you know, and I mean, I was pretty aggressive there too, man, because I still kind of hold that stance that I think it's pretty wild that she's diving through all these channels. But I mean, at the same time, I referenced it myself. If you're privy to a lot of this stuff that she's saying, and a lot of people don't know that, you know, maybe that's stuff that's locked down under the gag order, right? Maybe that's stuff that we're not even going to see till later on. But maybe it's just eating this person alive, right? And their kids have told them this. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot to unpack here. Though.
I will say this, like, you know, in my prior conversations with her, nothing was ever mentioned about a gag order. So that's news to me about her being a part of a gag order. You know, if she's saying that now, I mean, that doesn't mean it hasn't changed, but that is news to me from when we conversated with her in the past. And so I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if maybe she might just be saying that, or if the FBI, because she did have phone numbers and phones attached to FBI and to certain officers within the Moscow Police Department. I can't remember which one. Was it Lanier, maybe, I think it was, whose phone number came up on her phone records. So those things were true, but you know, that's as far as I'm able to vet, you know what I'm saying, without having seen the evidence myself.
Yeah, we can only actually go so far. Like,
Right.
At the end of the day.
And that's what I want, a lot of people to know too, because a lot of people throw us out like, oh, the Drunk Turkey Show vetted her, so everything she's saying is true. And well, that's not, doesn't necessarily, because we vet her and we do find out she is who she is, doesn't necessarily mean that everything she's saying is true. Not saying that anything she's saying is a lie. I honestly don't know.
Right. At the end of the day.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know. I have a huge problem with one of the things that she says, which is why we didn't bring it up. And it seemed like it was down the Reddit thing. And it seems like it goes along with what T-Rev was saying in this clip that you have here that he sent out to the FBI, that, to have that type of detail, you would have, had to have known some details of the crime, some intimate details of the crime. And I'll say, when we talked to her about it and I got that information, I had asked her where that came from. And I have to go back and listen to the recording, but I could have swore it was like, a speculation thing from like rumors and Reddit. It wasn't necessarily something that she was told or that her kid was directly told. It was more of, some of the things that she went down the rabbit hole with. And like I said, if you had a child in that area and there was a mass murder that was occurred and you had somebody on the run for 7 weeks, I think you'd be invested in Reddit, Facebook Place, YouTube, mainstream media, anywhere and everywhere that you possibly could get information, because you have 2 kids in the area. And, once you figure out that, you get some information based on, where your kids get some information, I don't see it being a big surprise that anybody would have put their own speculation on top of it. When I was in law enforcement, we talked to people who were witnesses to certain things. That's a huge part. Oh man, this happened. I think it was this guy, or I think it was that guy. It doesn't mean, even if they're wrong about who committed the crime, doesn't mean that something didn't happen to them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And so, those things are common. It's very common when you talk to victims, when you talk to witnesses, and people start, they get, when they're that invested, they'll start thinking of a lot of things. Like I said, I don't know what part of it is true or not true. I will say this though, her son, I'm not going to say whether he's still there or not, was a law student, or criminal justice student, I'm sorry, at WSU. And according to Kim, and I find her to be credible to the part that what she has told me that she was told, and the information that she has, I find that to be credible. Now, her speculation aspect of it, it's 2 different things. I stay away from the speculation. I stay away from the rumors. I just go based on the facts. And, when I asked her, about Brian Koberger and things of that nature, what she told me, that what she was told, and this seems pretty reasonable, was that one of her children's friends did have a class with Koberger, and that they didn't see any scars or cuts on his, that would allude to him being in an altercation the day after or shortly after the incident.
Yeah, you would think it would have been something on his face or something, I would imagine, because you're fighting for your fucking life.
Right. Imagine. Exactly. I would too. And so, when it comes to that aspect, that's the part that I'm willing to say, that I'm willing to come up here and say, yeah, this is what I know from Kim to be possibly true, or that I found credible. Who she is who she is. She is a mother of a couple of students that attended WSU. That, they have a friend that did attend Brian Koberger's class. And that the information that they were told was that sorority were called first, or friends were called first, which we already knew. There was multiple people at that house, which we already knew, the DoorDash driver and the alleged person who committed this crime. That one of the victims had seen and recognized, so she said seen and recognized. That's what she had told me, the person that was inside the house. We do know that somebody saw somebody in the house. And
I lose you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. She had told me that one of her children's went to a washer dryer laundromat, and that one of the laundromat or either one of her children or one of her children's friends, I honestly don't remember, it's been a long time, went to a laundromat the day after, and they saw blood on one of the washers and dryers or whatever, and that they contacted the local police, and they went out there and dismissed it. And so I don't take that for what it is. That's basically all the information that she had given me. She did tell me some other stuff, that in my opinion was just speculation and rumors, including what I think was told to T-Rev, which I would emphasize by saying that it had to do with a body part. I'll leave it at that.
I think I've kind of heard people allude to that.
Right.
Yeah.
And my thing is, and I even told her during the recording, I was like, if that was what had happened, I think there would be a lot of evidence and at least a lot of a blood trail going through and around that house and outside.
Because, I mean, dude,
and so
you lose a limb.
Right.
There's a lot of blood in this human body that's going to be.
It wasn't a limb. It was an interior body part.
Oh, fuck.
I'll leave it at that.
Shit. Okay.
And so, yeah, I'll say that, and that's about as far as I'll go. I'm not going to say who's, what's, when, where, or why. But that's the part or aspect that we were told. And like I said, it sounded a lot similar to something that I had seen on Reddit. And I got to go back and listen to the recording, but I think I could have asked her, like, was that yours? And I don't think it was something that, if she was told, I don't think that was part of the information that she was told early on. I think that was just rumors, man. Like a lot of it is. And like I said, if you go back to our video, when we talk about it and we talked about what all she told us, we said, there's a lot of speculation. We have to differentiate the speculation from what she was told. And that's why we didn't go down that avenue, like of certain things that she had said. She had said some things, and we didn't go down that avenue. We went down basically, all right, what were your kids told that was told to you? What do your kids know? Because everything went down to her kids. She wasn't told anything personally, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all third party.
It's all fucking hearsay after that, yeah.
Right, so it's all, she was there that weekend because it was Parents Weekend at WSU.
I did look that up earlier because she mentions that in this interview with T-Rev, and that actually did match up.
Yeah, she was out there. She got a check-in order or place, or stay in place or whatnot from WSU, like an Amber Alert, but saying to stay in home. And it was around 5. She said it was like later in the afternoon, like after 2 p.m., maybe even closer to 5. And that she contacted her daughter, and her husband contacted her son. And when she contacted her daughter had informed her that she was already aware of the situation and that she had known since the morning. Now, this is in the afternoon. I don't know if she's trying to give, exact time, but, Kim asked her, like, what do you mean by in the morning? What time? And she had said somewhere around like 10:30, and she's like, I don't know. Yeah, probably. That doesn't sound very accurate to me. So could it have been closer to 11:30, 11:45, noon, possibly? But, she felt that that her daughter was told information prior to the 911 tape or 911 call coming in, which we know that happened. We know that kids were there before the 911 call. That's not a big surprise.
Yeah, we've been hearing that for a minute, and I mean, that's what's shocked a lot of people, I think. And yeah, dude, like there's so much that goes into the entire story of this entire thing, and it's slightly changed here and there, but I mean, we've basically had it from the beginning and knew what was kind of going on. But as we kind of go, we've had, people like Kim pop through, or, other people that are close to Washington or in the Moscow area, and they've got stories too, right? Like, I don't know, man.
Right. I mean, like I said, Enan Harsh on Truth and Transparency said that he had heard this was like a drug deal gone wrong, and that was the rumor going around town. If her kids are in that town, why wouldn't they have heard the same rumor?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that same rumor be not extended to her? So, you know, there's some context behind it, and I get it. You know, and I understand that she's a concerned mom. At the end of the day, she's just a concerned mom.
That's what I was originally saying. Yeah, that was my main thing when we talked about it about 2 months ago when you guys were up.
Yeah.
Like I was coming at her from, this is a concerned mom situation. But this time around, dude, I was mostly convinced like this is bullshit probably. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. When the first thing I told you when you sent me the clip, because you had asked me if I had seen it, and I said no, I haven't seen it. And you sent me the clip, and the first thing I said is like, I don't know, man. She's not talking as fast as she normally does.
That's true too. She did talk really fast. And then somebody in my chat, Creepy Crystal, I believe, said it. That 1 second video you put out, you sped that one up because it was such a long interview.
Right.
Also, so a lot of people, like every comment was like, why she talk so fast? And you had actually sped it up on purpose.
Yeah, I sped it up. Well, I talk slower than she does. And so when I sped it up, I listened to it. I listened to a couple of sentences from her and a couple of sentences from me, and it didn't sound too bad. But then when I went back and she was getting excited, it was getting really fast. But I didn't listen to the whole thing when I sped it up. I just cut it out, listened to the first couple of sentences, like, all right, sounds good, put it out there. And so a lot of folks were like, that told me, hey, slow it down. But it's a little bit more difficult than you think. I'd have to take the whole video down, slow it down, and then put it out there. So what I did was I put the timestamp in that video as well to the original clipping, so you can hear the original everything. And so, like I said, she has some speculation. There's some speculation that's going on there. Enan Harsh had some speculation. We're gonna say that he's not really a neighbor.
Well, right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say is like, just because you have some speculation doesn't and if your speculation is wrong doesn't mean you don't live there, you don't have a connection there, or you weren't told something that's it's just part of the information may not be as reliable as the other part of the information, and you have to divide that. You just got to divide it. And we heard a bunch of those things, and we purposely just did not put it out there. When I first got the call and she told me, let's talk, off air so I can tell you everything I know. And I said, all right. We talked that night for a good minute. And the next show that we had, we got a lot of shit for because it was on the Russians shooting down a UFO. We got all these things we got so much stuff in our comment section saying, oh, y'all are sitting on information. And I was like, whoa.
Like, wait a minute.
Who this person is. I need to figure out who this person is before I go and put out a story like this of the information that she gave me. And so even at that, what we ended up doing is setting up another meeting. And that time it was myself, Blue, and Jaime, and Kim. And we recorded that, and I asked her if it was okay. And she said, yeah. And I told her I was not going to air it, and I have not aired it, not even any part of it. And we talked probably for about an hour and a half. And we got our information that we needed to get down for the show. And like I said, certain times I had to say, all right, I understand you think this because of that. But was that what you were told, or is that what you think because of whatever?
Right, yeah. Because there is a lot of her own thoughts that do go into it, too. Like, you can tell that it kind of goes in and out of, like, what she's been told, what she's feeling. There's a lot of emotion happening. I mean, she's right here in the chat talking about, like, she isn't here. But, I mean, it's yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here, so.
Right. And so, at the end of the day, I don't know what... I'll be honest, I don't believe a lot of the speculation aspect of it, but that's just because I don't, and I've been wrong.
Oh, dude,
people have told me before.
I'm wrong all the fucking time, dude. I ain't married to none of this shit, bro.
People have told me, people on Reddit and people everywhere said, like, there wasn't new information when we found out on the probable cause affidavit that somebody in the house saw the killer. Like, that was out there before. We had gotten that information. I didn't believe it. We didn't air it. And then the probable cause comes out, and then sure enough, somebody, Dylan Mortensen claims to have seen him. I was like, how the hell did somebody see him and not call 911 for 8 hours? I thought it was unbelievable. A lot of people think that's unbelievable to this day.
Yeah, dude, I still can't wrap my head around that.
And so that shit ended up being true. And so, not saying that any of those things that she's saying is true or not. I hold my judgment. I do believe that she was told certain things, and that those things that she was told, that those things did have, like those statements were said to her. Whether those statements were true or rumors, the other thing is too, it's third party information, and it's like a big fish story. It keeps getting bigger. The fish keeps getting bigger the more it passes on. So, I don't know how many people it went to before it got to her kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it came directly from the source.
Point too. Yeah, that's a very good point. Dude,
it could have easily been just...
That's just thinking about me, like, going back to, when I was a teenager, probably going to tell my parents something. How many times would you, like, you'd be saying it as, like, I saw this, and truly, you were just told this. Like, that happens a lot with people, man. Like...
Right, exactly. And so,
human brain sucks.
I've said it a couple times. I was like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt whenever you're getting information, third party information. Period. Could there be some truth behind it? I think so. Based on the information that she was told, because a lot of that information has been validated. Somebody saw somebody inside that house, and they were a witness to it, and police weren't necessarily the first people called. We know that. And was there multiple people outside, or one person inside the house while somebody was outside? Shit, that could have been the DoorDash driver outside while Brian Koberger was inside.
A bunch of little things. Once we actually start getting a little bit more details, little things like that may even out or line up a little bit better than what we have right now, where the story seemingly changes if the Daily Mail posts something that they think that they may have seen that they didn't see 3 months ago, so they can get a click. It's easy done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's happened a lot.
Exactly.
Me and Dan were going on that pretty heavy Friday. Like, there's so much BS. You gotta just take it all with a grain of salt at this point, and then work your way almost from that. But Daniel, dude, I appreciate you coming on here though and hanging out, man, because that really helped me out.
Yeah, I wanted to clear the air a little bit and make sure that everybody understood, especially once Kim called me. When Kim called me and I said, is it all right if I tell them that it's you? And she said, yeah, it's fine. And I said, all right. I asked for her permission first.
Cool.
I wouldn't have come out here and just thrown her under the bus like that.
Because that's what I was saying there in the chat. I was like, all right, if this is you, you can do it real easy. I have a direct connection to Daniel here, so we can do this.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I think that she's been told some things. I think she's also speculated on a lot of things as well, which is only human. I mean, like I said, we all freaking speculate, and we don't even have kids there. Can you imagine? Like, I've speculated on this case. I'm sure you've speculated. Hell, I don't think there's a YouTube channel out there that's talking about Brian Koberger in this case that's not speculating.
No way, dude. That's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? And so, she's a scared mom. She's got kids in the area. People have figured out who she is. I'll say that. People have come to me and told me, hey, is this the person? She's been, she is who she is. She has called the FBI, and she has spoken to, I want to say it's Lanier, from the Moscow Police Department. And the reason I know this is she sent me like 5, and I'll send it to you. She sent me her phone records, and I had to go through all the damn phone numbers. I didn't even tell her. I told her, don't tell me which one's which. I'll go through them all. Went through them all, and I found which ones were the FBI, which ones were Moscow Police Department, which one was Lanier, the whole 9 yards. So, take that for what it is. She may not be 100% right, but she has been told something.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude. Well, and that was my whole thing on this one right here. I was way more leaning towards this is a freaking troll right now lurking. So, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm going to keep digging through this just a little bit, though. And, yeah, I appreciate the hell out of it, Daniel, man. Seriously.
No problem, man. You have a good night, man. And for, it looks like 576 people are watching you right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give Publicly Buzz some love.
Yes, please. Hanging out in the back. Hit that like, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Yeah. And, yeah, we'll be doing something soon in the future, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. You know it, man. You have a good night.
Later, bro. Thank you, Daniel, for popping in here. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just really at the end of the day, we're all trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. I don't have any hate for anybody, guys. Like, but I mean, and I'll tell Daniel that was my thing, and I'll tell Kim that, or 3434, or whoever in the chat here. I do think it's crazy to be going through these random YouTube channels, going through the chats, fighting random people. I mean, that's not probably the way to do it. I'd probably just sit back and let whatever's happening happen. Because if you've got your information out there and the FBI actually truly does have that, like that's that. Like, we're not gonna. I mean, I know that, you know, I'm on here doing conspiracy streams and talking about this on a regular basis as well, but I'm not close to it. I'm not in it like you allegedly are. So I mean, I stick by that. Actually, I mean. But thank you guys all for hanging out and chilling. I appreciate it. No T-Rev's crews in here. Some Drunk Turkey crews in here. Probably some TNT crew in here. Everybody got a giant house. Welcome to Publicly Buzzed. We try to keep it down the fucking middle in here. I want to get everybody's opinion. I want to hear what the hell's going on, and we're going to try to figure it out. I'm not against anybody. I'm tired of this. I'm in this camp or this camp bullshit, because I'm in no fucking camp. I don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. And we'll try to figure it out. And at the end of it, we could probably hopefully shake hands and go our separate ways and talk about something else the next day, or talk about this shit. That's just the way it is.
Is there 3? Is there 2? Is there 5? Is there 6? How many more suspects do we have
T-Rev
out there that are not?
Get me Detective John's info. If he would like to come on here, he might not. He may think I'm a fuckface. I don't know. But this dude rules. I like this guy.
Custody.
So, because nobody's been accused, nobody's been convicted of the crime, I would say I know. The number that I heard was 3 people were outside, there was 3 inside, and then there were more people after that inside. And I don't have a number for that.
So there were 3 people basically watching as lookouts, is what you're saying, on the outside, and there were at least 2 or 3 more inside committing these offenses?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, and why is that not gotten out?
Yeah, for real.
I don't know. That's the question. Like, that's exactly.
Because you're the only person I've heard.
I see a super chat coming through, and I tried to pop those up on the screen, but bam! Thank you, PB, for your live, and respect to T-Rev. I love some T-Rev, man. T-Rev rules. I watch this shit all the time. Dude kills it.
Again, I only watch your show, but you're the only person that I've heard anything remotely similar to that. Now, there are people that are saying that they think it's more than one person because they don't believe that one person could commit this crime, which I absolutely 150,000% believe that he could have done this by himself, because you got to look at this as an ambush. It's this 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. These people are tired. Those 2 downstairs were probably, you know, I'm not trying to be blunt, they were probably having sex or just got done having sex. You know, they were probably ambushed and, you know, had no idea what was coming. You know, the girls, you know, Maddie and Kaylee, you know, Maddie was pretty inebriated just watching her at the food truck. She would have been easy prey. She's not going to be able to fight back too much. And, you know, I don't know about the rest of them. Allegedly, they were all out partying. You know, Bethany and Dylan were home, but they had been out earlier as well. And you're talking about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Even if they were out, they were probably 2 shits in the wind, you know, sleeping till noon the next day, which is proven to be true or alleged. That's why they didn't get up and find the bodies when they found them. I find nothing about this investigation that would lead me to believe that there's anyone else involved. I think they got their man, and I think they're proving their case, and there's going to be a ton of stuff that comes out in these hearings, and the suppression hearings, and the, you know, there's going to be multiple hearings. I heard that there's one coming up in March. Did you hear that, T-Rev? They moved one.
March 25th. Motion for the gag order. Motion for the gag order.
You mean May?
Is that the May one?
May.
I'm sorry. Yeah, May is the gag order. Motion for gag order.
That's going to be a telling event, but I'm not saying that you're lying or anything. You're getting this stuff third hand, but you're getting it from kids who love to have conspiracy theories, and you know, this rumor pill that's out there is just crazy. I don't know why people are finding.
So I can tell you things that I can tell you separately that I think I can't say it out loud. I'm not going to put people at risk.
I mean, I just don't see what's the point of coming up on a channel that has how many people in here watching it? Over 1,000. There's over 1,000 people watching it, but you're saying I don't want to say it publicly.
I'm really with this guy. I don't know who this cat is, but I'm really with this dude. Like, at the end of the day, because it came out, you did the thing with Drunk Turkey months ago. That's actually where I'm kind of at. Like, I really, at the end of the day, do think it's kind of wild. Like, I mean, that's just me personally. I would not be doing this. Any of this.
Publicly.
Over 1,000 people now know and question maybe, and over 1,000 people.
There's 1,338 people watching right now.
Good. I hope they're careful with their children. I hope they don't take what's being told to us without questioning it, because it needs to be questioned. And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really truly I need no attention.
That'd be dope. We get all these different opinions on here, just talking, shooting the shit, everybody having a good time. Keep the chat peaceful and everybody just chilling, hanging out, man. That's where we need to be in this thing. This drama shit's for the birds, man. Who gives a shit?
Here's the message.
I work a real job in the morning.
That I'm getting from you.
Mm-hmm.
Parents, your kids aren't safe. Your kids are not safe. Don't believe what you're being told. There's other murderers out there that are going to do the same thing potentially to your children at WSU and Idaho University. So don't believe what you're hearing. This is all BS, and your kids aren't safe.
Be careful.
What you want to get out there?
I'm saying be careful. Yes, they're not necessarily safe. What we're being told isn't actually what the kids know. Have a conversation with your children.
I'm to believe that law enforcement knows this as well, according to you, and law enforcement is.
Got a couple of supers coming through here. AZ popping through. Let's hit you with it. I don't always get buzzed, but when I do it publicly. Smash that like, AZ, and Absolute G on this channel. Appreciate that. Thank you, bud. Hell yeah. And I think we got one more to pop up here. Chosen Rosen coming right behind him with the $2. Hit you with it. ODB will welcome that any day of the week. Coming through with the super chat. Hope everyone is having a great night. So do I. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday night. We're working to get halfway through this son of a bitch. And yeah, Thursday night. He was in here earlier. Jay, The Shaming of Jay. Go follow that YouTube channel. Absolute fucking badass. Hilarious. His Twitter is massive. He's huge. He's awesome as shit. Started blowing up during the Murdoch trial. Covered the Gwyneth Paltrow trial. We're going to be on here Thursday making fun of some random clips from probably both those trials and God knows what else. Dude fucking rules. So go give him a follow. Just type in the search bar on YouTube, The Shaming of Jay, and it should pop right up. Also on Twitter. Dude is awesome.
It's not
9 p.m. Eastern time. Also on Thursday for that.
Is saying that they got their man, and they're not warning anybody that there's still potential, knife-wielding homicidal maniacs out there that are going to kill your children. They're not saying be on the lookout. You're not safe.
Exactly, they're not.
Why would they do that? Why would a law enforcement entity of any part of law enforcement, FBI, FDLE, Idaho State Police, Washington State Police, why would any of those agencies, it's incumbent upon them to protect and serve, not be divulging information that would lead everybody to be on their toes and be on the lookout and not be callous in anything they do. So why would they do that?
I don't know. I'm not, because I'm not going to speculate why. I just know that what they're saying isn't matching what is happening. They said that it was a targeted event, that nobody was in danger. That's what they said. It was a targeted event.
In my opinion, it was 100% a targeted event.
I think it was probably targeted. Yes, it was targeted to somebody to keep their mouths shut. I think that's what the kids think, is that you don't say anything. I don't think these kids did anything wrong. I think they were naive and they trusted people. And I think they just kind of fell into it. I think a few kids did something very, very wrong.
And I'm going to use my keen spidey sense and a lot of time in law enforcement and call BS on this whole thing. I think I think somebody,
John right here, this is what he was calling.
With a bunch of lines of BS and you're believing it, or I don't know. But
not to believe
I'm not
them.
buying.
They haven't lied.
Mar R said all of your information was on 4chan.
Thank you, Lynn.
4chan, the website.
I don't even know what you're talking
about. Somebody in chat that's asked a caller, what do the kids know? Why are they in danger? What is going on? Please be straightforward.
That's what
I'm not going to. Those are the things that I can't tell you because then I put the kids at risk.
Without saying their names?
Everybody knows it's Greek Row. These kids are on Greek Row. All these kids are on Greek Row. Yeah. I mean, there's been threats. People have been threatened. Families have been threatened. I mean, I'm telling you this for no other reason than to warn people. And to get justice because these parents and these families deserve it. They deserve
Flashbang Barbie, one of my favorite names. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. Love that name. Flashbang Barbie.
My kid. Could have been any of our kids.
I think they're going to get.
But hold up, somebody asked also. Wait, I thought you just said Koberger had help in another one of your stories.
I'm gonna get T-Rev on here for a late night Friday night one time with that Spear Box. We have a fun time. We're gonna get crazy.
Kim, you said your daughter was friends with these kids.
Hold on a minute. No, that never said that. Show me where I said that. Show me where I said that. I did not say that.
I think the email needs to be read.
There were 3 accomplices outside.
Yo, we'll figure this son of a bitch out.
That's what you said.
And that came directly from the surviving roommates who were locked in Bethany's bedroom on the first floor and knew the kids were being shaken down. They did not know they would be killed. That's what I believe.
Okay, so based on what you know, what is your theory as to why Bethany or Dylan didn't call 911? So let's cut to the chase. What did you hear the reason was why they didn't call 911?
Well, I have to tell you, I still ask my child that. Why not? And this is the response I got when I asked my child, why not? Why didn't they call 911? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't they call 911? The response was, I don't know, Mom, because it was a party house and I don't know. It was just a party house. I don't know. That's where they deal drugs. That's where you get drugs. I don't know, Mom. I'm like, have you been there? She said no. And I'm like, I don't know. But we'll double check that later. And so I don't know. That's what and several kids from our local area who go to school there, same thing. We don't know why they didn't call 911. We don't know why they didn't call 911.
So why wouldn't these kids be I'm sure they're following T-Rev and all these other crime shows. Why wouldn't anybody else be divulging the information that you allegedly have? I don't understand why.
I can guarantee you any students that are following you are probably involved in no more than and need to say something. That's what I can tell you. And those kids, if you kids are out there and you're listening, you are safer if you go to the police together than you are by not going.
But do you not?
What though? What are they going to go to the police? I don't understand what. So
tell them what really happened. They know what happened. These kids know what happened. They know why, they know what happened, and they know what it's about. And it's not just one crime. It's parallel crimes. And I didn't even know that.
Give me an example of a parallel crime.
You're welcome, Alan.
Okay. It's, well, you know that, like, it's drugs. It's definitely dealing drugs in there and the money. There's laundering of money in there. And there's also a fans only.
Do you know what money laundering is?
No, not really.
Hold on.
All right, Detective John just hit it, right? He's like, wait, do you even know what that one means?
Hold up. Now, you're talking about money laundering.
That's some of the speculation that can come out. Like, there's a lot of different arguments happening here, right? Like, it's like whether you believe her or not, that's one of them. And then the where I started out with, is this even the right person? And I will say, I will actually concur that it probably is the same person, because I know that Daniel actually talked to whoever, whatever you want to call them, whether that person's name is Kim or not. You take that however you want. I'm going to trust him that this is the person he talked to, named Kim. And that was my original thing. So you got that portion of it. And then you got, do you actually believe what she's saying portion of it? And there's so much mixed in. It's so fucking muddy, man. Like,
that information divulged to me by somebody else that was in my show?
I don't know.
So there's a lot going on. I think there's a lot of people having different arguments even about this whole thing. And nobody's even on the same page in a lot of ways.
No idea.
Christy Gonsalves is
I don't even know what it is. I just think it's when you. Okay,
Christy Gonsalves, that was made to me by somebody that used to be a member on my channel, and they would say, I have receipts. They sent me a bunch of shit, and it was all stuff that I got on the 7 different paid websites that I have memberships on that I could search shit on. It was all information like that. They're saying Gonsalves is money laundering, is what they were saying allegedly.
The legal term for money laundering is RICO, which is racketeering. So you have to have 2 or more people conspiring together to, you know, like a drug dealer, to bring money in, to take money and spend it elsewhere, or to money in and out. That's what.
See, I think that T-Rev says, this is Kim WSU, the one Olivia deleted the video with for lying. I really think that she deleted that from the bullying in her comment section. I remember when that first happened, dude, and the comment section was gross as fuck towards Olivia. Really for no real reason. Like, you know, and I guess you could argue, like, if you really truly believe this, why would you put this out? Was it for clicks? Was it for hits? Whatever. But man, hell, I don't know how old she is. I don't know if maybe she couldn't take that brunt, which is probably not smart to be on YouTube or in the true crime community or any fucking community on YouTube. But yeah, I will say that comment section for her was fucking gross, dude. Absolute bottom of the barrel trash bag human fuck faces in there, being pieces of shit. I don't care if you believe it or not, if you do or don't. I don't give a shit. You personally attack people, you fucking suck, and that was what was happening in her chat.
They went after the mafia for it. That's why the FBI came out. Hoover.
I don't see a man about a dog in a minute. Y'all don't get me riled up, baby. We going.
Mafia.
556 people hanging out in the background. 232 likes. What are y'all doing, man? Y'all fucking suck back there. You hear me? Get that fucking like going. Share this son of a bitch. If you're not subbed up, please sub up. Hit the 3 little dots on the side and make sure all notifications are hit. That way you get all of my community posts, all my videos, which is pretty fucking often. Every day I've been posting new content. I'll break these lives out into clips, post those the next day, break it down to where it's easier to digest, and then the lives are coming rapid nonstop. So make sure you're subbed up. Go live every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for sure. Randomly throughout the week, you never know. Tuesday 9 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern time, 10:30 Fridays. Now that's the wild live. We get crazy in here. We start drinking, we start hanging out, whatever vice floats your boat. 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. As we get past the midnight hour, you never know what's going to happen in here. I want to get T-Rev on here past the midnight hour and get the spirit box in here rocking and rolling, baby.
I'm sure there was probably some dope moving in and out there because it's a college town. They're buying weed. They might be getting some X. They might be getting...
Oh, my God. We got a super chat coming through here. Let me hit it. Oh, what's going on? Thank you very much. Dogs Over Humans. That's the best fucking name you could ever have. Absolutely. I hope you're subbed up because I post pictures of my dog all the time. Her name's Gypsy. She's amazing. She's half pitty. She's half collie. She's long-haired. She's got a pitty head. She's crazier than hell. I love that name. Welcome.
You know, all kinds of stuff, but to call this a drug-related hit is just kind of beyond me. I mean, I don't see that. I think it's pretty simple. I mean, based on everything that we know, which is very little, it looks like it is what it is. I mean, it looks pretty clear to me what it is. To me, it's probably an infatuation, and he was following those girls on social media. Kaylee was leaving and going to Texas the next day. This is his last opportunity.
What's the obsession coming through? I gotta hit it. I gotta hit you with it. You know it. I guess it'd help if I hit it as well. Thank you very much for the $4.99. These families don't deserve hearing grotesque details about their dead children, especially when the deets are lies. No, not excusable. Thanks, Publicly Buzzed. Yep, thank you for being here. Watch the Obsession. I love her content as well. Please go follow Watch the Obsession, a rather large channel here on YouTube. Also, T-Rev hanging out. This is the content that I'm actually watching is T-Rev's. But yeah, I try to keep it down the middle. And yeah, there's a lot of fucked up shit on YouTube to watch the Obsession's point there. We live in a really, really fucked up time period, y'all.
Opportunity to do what he's wanted to do. That's why he messed up. He made all these mistakes because he didn't plan on doing it that night. I think that communication.
I'd love to be on T-Rev too. He goes live during the day a lot of times, and I would again work. But I think that'd be sweet.
Maddie sent out saying that she was gone after tonight. I think that he just acted. He was spontaneous. He messed up. He made tons of mistakes,
and he was jacked. He's probably on drugs, but to insinuate that he couldn't do this by himself on 3 girls and 1 guy at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning when they're inebriated and probably half asleep. He ambushed them. That's why it was so easy.
So then why didn't they call 911? Why did the girls not call 911? Why didn't the girls call 911 then?
Because he ambushed
them. And I have another question for you, Kim, and I've been thinking about it. So in general, you okay.
It's okay.
Thank you, Chosen Rosen. Appreciate that. ODB gonna come through for it all day, baby.
In general, how are you hearing these things?
I'm gonna have to see a man about a dog for 2 seconds. Don't kill each other.
I mean, do you have somebody that goes to the Idaho side or
what? Well, you know.
That's just something that I thought of.
I can't answer that question. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question because that, you know what? If I thought everybody was safe and this wasn't a thing, trust me, I'd be at the lake right now. I wouldn't be doing this. This is not what I think is a good time. This is what I think is my civic responsibility and as a parent to other parents to say, to be honest and outright. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
and you turned this info over to the FBI that you have?
I have. I've spoken with them. We haven't assigned
What field office did you send it to?
Virginia now. I only go to Virginia now.
And how did you do that?
My uncle.
Your uncle? So you sent it secondhand?
Told me to do. I didn't send it through him. He told me where to go, so I did.
And where did you go?
I'm interested to see what you got. Watch the Obsession. She's saying she's got some receipts here, so.
Virginia.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
I'll get them for you.
No, describe to me how you did it.
I called them. Well, first I called what I wound up getting. Originally, I called the Seattle area, and then they put me over to the Moscow area. And then when parents weren't getting responses, we were all saying nobody's calling back and we're giving them this information. We're not hearing if they've got this information and they're getting bogged down. So I called them. They didn't know about it, which was like 2 or 3 days, one day maybe later. It was just in that very beginning because I knew it in Washington State. So I figured it crossed state lines. And nothing seemed to wash. When they said our kids were safe, it was targeted. How can you tell my kids safe, but you can't tell me what the target is? That's where I was. So I then called, and they called back, and then they sent an Idaho State Patrolman, or he called, and that was our go-to. And then as I learned that not everything was included in evidence from another parent, I was speaking with my uncle, and he said, call Virginia, don't even mess with it. So I called. They put me on hold. You wait forever. You have to push all buttons. And then I waited and I made the complaint. And I said to them, this is why I'm calling you here. And I told them, do you remember the day? There's a picture. There's the date when it was nighttime and they brought out the bags of evidence in paper bags. Yep. I called them that morning and I had said, just as an
love it when I post the Discord link and people literally just start coming through there. Thank you guys so much. The Discord's fucking full also, y'all. Thank you guys for coming in here, keeping a regular conversation going. Beast me just talking to myself all the fucking time.
Side that the kids are always on the roofs. I know it's stupid, but they think that's fun and it's dumb, but they do. They get on the roofs all the time. And I said, and they also have these little hiding spots in live outs for Greek Row where they hide things like, I think when my daughters live out, they found cookbooks and stuff and magazines from 1910 to 32 or something. So kids, they leave time capsules. So if there's spaces between the walls to leave time capsules, can't you leave a knife in there? Couldn't you leave clothes in there? I mean, and go through the insulation in the roof that was blown in, because I'm also a real estate broker. So when you're looking at it, there's places that people can hide.
She's definitely all over the place.
Why does Heather
all over the place? But I'm telling you, look at that scene. They went in that night and they brought something out.
Why are people in here saying that it's not what you said last night on the other panel?
What is different about what I've said on the other panel? Except for
I have no idea. I have no idea. I haven't heard it, so I can't say that I don't, because I don't know.
Well, have them ask me. Tell me what I've said differently. What have I said differently?
Yeah, look, I haven't listened.
I have one story. It hasn't changed. I have one accounting. It hasn't changed.
You really don't have a story, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I have an
you've
accounting.
not really
it's
told
not a story,
me.
It's an accounting of what occurred.
Listen.
One of the alibis was
I am
at my daughter's house that night, and the alibi lied. You want to know? You want to know, people? Okay, stop for a minute, and I'm going to tell you how. An alibi was supposedly at my daughter's house that night and wasn't there.
Okay, so you know the killer then. If the alibi was at your daughter's house, supposedly.
I said an alibi.
An alibi?
Who would need an alibi? The killer would need an alibi, lady.
A killer would.
That's hilarious, bro.
Okay, first of all,
fuck, y'all. This shit's killing me.
A killer would need an alibi.
Oh, a suspect would need an alibi.
I'm not.
ODB, oh dirty bastard, yes.
You can choose to believe me or not. There's a reason
I choose not to believe you.
Baby, I got you.
I'm listening.
Then don't believe me.
Hey.
Dude, you were supposed to keep.
A suspect would need an alibi.
Either way, I'm just looking for better.
Okay, first of all, dude needs to stop talking because I'm not playing with you anymore. You're like
she playing. Holy shit, this shit's breaking down, bro. Look, he's. Everybody, just calm the hell down, dude.
Okay, I'm not playing.
I'm actually 35, man. But thanks for your opinion.
Well, then act like it.
Okay. Hear me out here.
Fuck, bro.
Give me a hard time.
All right, let's chill out for a minute. We got some supers coming through here. Woo! Haters gonna hate $5. She just said an alibi was at her house that night. Hit you with it. Baby, I got that money. Appreciate that. And $4.99 from Finer Than Forensics. She is saying a whole lot of nothing. In my opinion, girl, bye. That $4.99 super chat to say that right there, up there on the screen. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hard time for just telling you what you want.
Have you been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia?
What you want to hear? I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth as I know it, as I've been told by reliable sources, and I believe these students are far more reliable than these police officers, and that is a fact. I do not believe police officers are untrustworthy. I don't. I respect them and everything about them.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself. You're just not listening.
Hey, can you let me talk to you for a second?
I'm listening. I'm listening. I just asked a couple questions.
I'm not saying I believe you or I don't believe you. I'm just trying to get the storyline here of, you've kind of bounced, and this just may be the way that you're trying to articulate it and you're scared or whatever. I get it. I'm just trying to get from the beginning from the point of 10 a.m. on the 13th, your kids obviously knew something. Is that correct? Is that what you're telling me?
Many students knew something, yes.
Okay. So of the plethora of students that knew something, what was actually said that
Jules of all trades, true crime popping in here also. Thank you, appreciate it. Full house tonight.
Concerned because I really haven't. I've heard tit tats. So how do these students know what they know? Are you alleging that one of the surviving witnesses called them and told them information? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that the information that they received was different from the information in the probable cause affidavit.
Okay, well, the PC affidavit is moot at this point because it really is only to obtain what they needed to arrest him with, and there's very little information in that PC affidavit. I can tell you right now.
Agreed.
That is a minuscule of the actual events and the evidence. That's nothing. That PCA had more information than I would have ever anticipated. You really didn't need that much information to get what they've got.
Okay, and then also the fact that the kids knew that there were multiple people involved. They knew that.
How did they know this?
From their friends. And part of the problem is it's all on Snapchat. And you know what happens to Snapchat when you open it? goes away.
It deletes, but then you can get it back.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can. I'm hopeful that they can get it back.
No, I'm telling you can.
I have my phone records. What?
So knowing what you know, based on the lack of a 911 call being made by Bethany or Dylan, who made the 911 call?
Well, it wasn't Ethan's brother, Hunter. Ethan's brother, Hunter, wasn't there until the police were called.
He asked you who made
Which this refers me back to my question that I had.
Hunter Johnson made the fucking call.
No, Kim, you're on the WSU side. Who do you know on the Idaho side? That's referring me back to that every time that I think of it, because this is the Idaho side where all this stuff happened, correct?
One of the alibis attends you up.
Huh?
So you're
and one of the alibis and some of Kaylee's sorority sisters attend you up.
Okay. But did you just blurt out that Hunter actually did make the call?
Hunter Johnson.
Hunter Johnson.
Okay.
And yes, I told Steve that. And you can call and ask him if I've said I will answer any questions they have. And I will continue to keep this on the front page until there's justice. I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking for myself, for what I know, not their information. So I don't want, please do not everybody get up. Someone else, do not get a bug in your bonnet that I'm saying I'm speaking for people. I'm not. I am sharing the information I have. And the fact that I have 2 children who transferred, it's awfully expensive. It's awfully expensive to have eyes on your kid 24/7, but it doesn't matter. But not everybody can do that. And I understand that. And kids are not safe. There's a girl who's sitting in jail waiting to go to trial May 15th for killing a U of I student. March 21st.
Now, what did Maddie say to Adam?
What my understanding is that she threw the drugs away. She threw it in the trash, and then they didn't have the money to cover it. And Molly Gray, if you go into the Venmo accounts, that's really probably. And that's what I told the FBI. I know you don't have anything else, but go to Venmo, because they have to make comments in the Venmos. You know, when when I Venmo my kids money, I have to say whatever in those Venmo accounts. If you go to Molly Gray and it's with an A, not an E, you will see 330 in there. And if you track up, you will see all of the players.
The most interesting podcast or anything like this would be to get multiple differing opinions together. Like, honest to God, like really, that's what I'm mainly against here, is the echo chamber vibe. Everyone needs to be in there talking. Honestly, all together, and even in chat, it's hard because it's real easy to be disrespectful in chat. Everyone needs to be in there together talking, whether it's face-to-face or just audio or whatever. But if everyone is in there talking, it's going to make for, first of all, an insanely interesting convo, because then everyone's going to be actually there really having a conversation. We're all going to be talking. That'd be dope as hell. That's how you get to the bottom of stuff today.
Okay.
And Murphy was not.
Long-form conversations are making a big comeback. Or is what's happening. People are done with the short form bullshit, the clipping, whatever. People can make people look bad. Everyone just needs to come together and have a conversation. At the end of the day, if you don't agree, that's fucking fine, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Me and my brother, my co-host of the show, don't agree quite often. We have little battles on here quite often. At the end of the day, it's a big whatever, dude.
What?
I've seen a lot of people asking that, so I figured I'd ask you that too.
Well,
Murphy wasn't in that house.
Molly is gray. The color of
I've never met anyone I've gotten 100% along with.
DMA is gray.
Ever.
I just know there's a girl named Molly Gray, actually. That's legitimately her name. She's an AFI. She was the sorority sister of Kaylee's. And she's best friends with Emily Katovich.
Emily Katovich. Okay.
So did Kohlberger do this, in your opinion, or did somebody else do it?
The creeper was there. All I know is the creeper was there. I don't know if he did it or not. I don't know that.
And the creeper is a drug dealer or a stalker or what?
I don't know. A creeper to me would be more like stalkerish or like weird.
Was that the alibi that I was at your kid's house? Is he the creeper?
No, definitely not.
So according to you, there's creepers. not a creeper.
Well, I don't think the alibi that was supposedly at my daughter's house is one of the killers. I don't think that at all. I think it was just an alibi for kids knowing what was going on. And I know that's very vague and it's very cryptic, but that's really all I can share with you about that. Because here's the thing, I don't want to put kids' names out there because I don't know the kids' names necessarily. I know who he was the alibi for. I know that story. I know that the FBI took that story and told me at that time that they had found other lies in the alibis that kids had given them.
60 FBI, something was going on.
And the thing about it is, there's a, I think it's called a quad 4. There's a drug problem clearly in this 4-state area, or Washington State, Idaho, and I think Utah too is pretty bad. But and these guys, they're a task force that's been created, and that Moscow has gone into this task force to, stop the drugs and the trafficking. And first of all, I don't know a lot of the verbiage, so please excuse me if I'm incorrect. It's nothing I've ever thought I'd be doing. I didn't even know sleuths were a thing or true crime was a thing. I didn't know. It's not that I didn't care and watch the news. I did. I just didn't know about it. And the secretary to the president at U of I told me about it.
That's a problem right there, Angelica. Too many mods is a problem. I have 5 mods. I know 4 of them personally, really personally. Yeah, there's way too many people that get modded up in random channels, and this is everybody. I've seen it in every single channel. You can take this however the fuck you want. Everybody. You get all these, again, we're going back to these fucking weird camps, right? You get this guy that's mad at this guy. You get this guy that's mad at this guy, and they start deleting, other people's opinions that they don't like in the moment. It's ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
When I called him,
real trolls deserve to be fucking called out, tarred and feathered publicly. That's what needs to actually fucking happen. People with differing opinions, let's see what the fuck happens, bro.
Because when I called the presidents, trust me, I've spent every day on the phone trying to figure out to keep kids safe. Like, it's craziness. It's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. It's insane that this happened at all.
It's tragic. And I wouldn't lie. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not lying. I'm coming from a place of kindness, of love, of just to do whatever I can do in a terrible situation.
Only way to
I don't need attention. Trust me, you wouldn't know me if you walked
now. Fake fucks will always be called out in every channel and every chat without mods. They will always be found out. They might get away for a minute, but you'll always at the end of the day realize who's a fuckface, who's a piece of shit, who's a trash can human. It's not hard to find out in these things. All of us that have these channels, it's easy to see pretty damn quickly. You have a lot of people thinking they're getting by with this, getting by with that. They have these other random accounts or random channels. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm weird.
What other deaths were you talking about, to be specific? Since
there was Kopaka, who, okay, I'm just going to go here I'm going to call bullshit. You're going to tell me that a 38-year-old man is living in Coug housing with 2 20-year-old college-age students, and he's an IT tech for the school. Is that really what you're telling me?
My roommate's 22 years old and I'm 35.
Well, okay. They post on the boards at the schools too. I mean, you have random people needing roommates all the time.
Fair enough.
That's not unusual.
Fair enough. Okay, so then fair enough to both of you, but nobody knows who these roommates are, and not every kid was evacuated from the scene. And my son lived on that side of campus, and it started at 8:30, and we got a phone call at 4 a.m. So there's a problem with transparency, don't you think? And there's no bullet holes anywhere. And then somebody said that he lit a fire. So if he lit a fire, wouldn't they have gotten all the students out and doubled down on that, made sure the students were out? And all you got is a policewoman standing there asking for her coffee and her coat 3 times. I mean, I hope she got her coffee.
So you're saying...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Detective John. I'm sorry.
So you're saying that Kilpatrick was in on it with Kohlberger, and they did this together, and then in some freakish way, he gets involved with an incident with the police and winds up dead?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not accusing him of all. What I'm hoping is the truth is because he has an address in Spokane, and he has an address in Illinois somewhere. He never shows up as an address in Coug housing, student living, because he's a teacher, not a student. So, or an employee, not a student. So that doesn't match. You have to be a student to live in student housing.
Who you talking about, Kohlberger or
I'm talking about Kopaka. So do I think, and if you go through his profile that's out there, it's public, and it'll say that he was military and government contractor. So what I hope is he's alive somewhere in the Caribbean and safe, and he was an informant and he did his job and he just went away. That's what I hope. I don't know that. But none of that story makes sense. The kids think it doesn't make sense. Even the pings don't make sense. My son came down and goes, there's no way he did that. He could.
Is this true, Kim? She said before that the U of I sorority girls who were cleaning the crime scene texted her daughter. The story changes. What would you say to that comment?
I did not. First of all, I never said. First of all, I did not ever say that. What I said was my daughter received a text at 10 a.m. from her sorority sister, not a UI sorority sister.
No, camps equal opinions, like hardcore opinions that you really can't like, because there's so many people that just get stuck in these, and it's all walks of life. It's in every walk of life. Everything, and it happens all the time now, really, because of the internet and these, chat rooms and these live chats and Twitter, Reddit, whatever you have it. Like, everyone gets together and they all decide, I'm on this team, or I believe this wholeheartedly. I can't have, and then that's the problem, is they can't have their mind changed, man. I've had my mind changed on here live many times. I'm not married to any of these ideas. I've often said that, but that's what I really mean there, is like everyone gets stuck in these camps, and I absolutely cannot stand that. I hate it.
And I said, well, how did she even know? Well, because her boyfriend goes to UI.
I'm guilty of it. It's the thing. I'm guilty of it. It's a fucking human thing, man. Like, our brains are fucking suck. Like, we're just human.
That's how she knows these kids. That's what I said.
I got you.
And I understand that things get twisted and turned around. It's like telephone, right? I mean, honestly, and if you can't track calls, and they have myself.
I like how he lets everyone come up and say whatever the hell they want to say. He had her up there, right? At the end of the day.
Offered it to them. I told them.
But would you have her up again? Would you have her up again? I think that's where the actual interesting views would come from, is having everybody up to just fucking, there'd have to be a line of respect. You just can't go in there. But I think there would be. Everyone's not going to go up there and just start saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's not going to happen, man. That would be crazy. Like, just let's have a conversation.
Anything. Man. Anybody can open anything of mine, except for what is personal and where somebody could get to one of my kids. And there was already blood all over her washing machine. So I don't know what that is, but then
all over whose washing machine?
Yeah, my daughter's.
Your daughter had something to do with this?
No, my daughter had nothing to do with this.
Well, why is blood on her washing machine?
Well, maybe they knew her mother said something.
Well, don't you think her mother needs to stop saying something?
Detective John, please don't attack her. Just listen to someone that actually lives there and that is worried for her children. Why does Detective John always take cop role?
I'm listening to her. I'm trying to get the storyline here.
Awesome. Detective John's been killing this whole thing.
I'm not taking cop role. I'm just like, tell me the story, and it's all over the place.
I'm going to defend you right now because I don't feel like you're attacked. I don't feel attacked at all. I feel like you're asking me relevant questions in a respectful manner. Now, dude.
Right.
Okay, so the people in the chat saying that about Detective John, you would think they're wrong?
Yeah, I don't feel attacked. Thank you, but I don't feel attacked, and I do appreciate that support because I.
All right. Go ahead.
So,
cool.
Now, you was addressing me. I was asking you what you needed to say to me.
Were you? I did. I said, but I think you're a little fresh. That's it.
So I get it.
T-Rev, can we get a show with that dude and Kim one-on-one, just like bam? I think that'd be the show.
I get it. This is a horrific crime, and it is, for some people, it's hard to believe that one person wielding a 9-inch K-bar knife could kill 4 people. But a lot of people, and I'm not using this word to insult people, but a lot of people are ignorant when it comes to
things like that, because they've never seen it. They don't know what one person can do. Somebody that's motivated, somebody that's got adrenaline pumping through the system could easily wield a 9-inch, let me repeat that, a 9-inch bar knife. That if
I absolutely believe you could do it. One person could do it. I don't think it's about that. It's not crack. Of course he could do it.
I also don't find it highly unusual that a college student, a young girl that's, probably not, she's not very mature yet. She's always on the phone with her friends. She probably panicked, and she could have called somebody first or texted somebody first. Yes, it's very plausible. I mean, from the beginning, I heard that they ran outside, and that the 911 call came from a bystander that was passing by outside. I would love to hear that 911 call. I mean, I don't understand why they're holding that. I don't know why they're holding that. I mean,
it's probably got evidence in it, right? I mean, I don't know why. Why are they holding?
If it came from somebody outside of the crime scene, that it was a 911 call, I mean, there are probably multiple calls, but I would just like to hear one.
Let's go, Keister.
And there's got to be one that's not real relevant that they could release, but they're tight. They're being very tight-lipped.
But they have 2 colleges that are going to lose students, right? Enrollment.
I'm sorry?
That's what they're worried about. They're worried about enrollment, I think. Enrollment, I mean, about losing students.
I don't think inevitably in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's gonna affect.
I think of John's killing it, dude. This has been interesting as hell because of him.
Enrollment.
Oh my
God! I really don't.
Well, U of I already had enrollment issues.
Killing it.
But they said it's up from last year. Well, it could only go up because they'd have to close if it didn't. Basically, I think that I'm just saying that kind of to be a smartass. But they've given all kinds of discounts and all kinds of dropping tuition rates.
We need to actually, I guess we need to get to the email.
Kids are going to go
down to it now.
Giving basketball scholarships in our area from this side of the mountains, like crazy right now.
Well, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but this heinous crime may help the university, because they may wind up getting more from a nickel than a dime by dropping enrollment rates and giving more scholarships. So they may actually increase enrollment.
Right, of course, I'm sure. And that's I mean,
and if I'm a parent, I would probably feel more safe now sending my kid to that school than before, knowing that there's going to be more security on hand. There's probably a lot more cameras up now than before too.
Well, I hope. I mean, you would hope, but I don't know. I think that I agree with you. It's like when E. coli hit. I was working in restaurants. Restaurants were safer when they had E. coli came out, right? First hit because you're watching your P's and Q's. You would think that, but I don't. I think this is pretty deep, and I would love to be able to feel that. You know what I mean?
All right, so let me ask you this, and you're not divulging anything. Mm-hmm. Were the bodies? Okay, so there's 4 victims. Mm-hmm. Were were Maddie and Kaylee still upstairs, from what you heard, or were they downstairs?
My understanding is they were, but different weapons and different injuries.
Okay, so Xana and Ethan, where were they? Were they in the room or out of the room?
There's been originally what I'd heard was he was in the hallway or the kitchen, coming to the hallway, and Xana was fighting, and evidence would prove that Xana was fighting.
I believe that's very plausible based on the video that I had T-Rev pull up, because they're spending a lot of time outside that room. So it's telling me that there's a body there, or bodies.
Right. And I think even Hunter said that he went in and took Ethan's pulse, which is bizarre to me, because why would you do that? Unless you wanted to explain your DNA being there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to sideline quarterback something like that.
I know.
I mean,
you
don't know. Exactly. You don't know if this.
I don't know what I do.
Fuck, we have to see this dog again.
That
somebody
was dead. Of course, most people would probably run in there to check. I don't find that unusual either.
Insane.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I believe that too.
I don't think. I mean, I would have run in there. you don't know. Somebody's hysterically screaming that someone's dead. You know,
right? And I'm just right. And I think I would run in there, right? But maybe I wouldn't.
You're acting in good faith, so you know,
right.
your DNA being there by running in there or whomever, that can be eliminated.
Right, and so that was unfair of me. So I apologize for saying that. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
No need to apologize. I'm not saying yay or nay whether I believe you. I mean, to me, I just need more information, and you're unable out of propensity of fear. You don't
and
want to
also
give out any more
because I don't want to give away things that maybe I shouldn't be saying. I don't want to say things I shouldn't say. I certainly don't want to say things that families could hear. I don't want to say things they could hear.
But really, it's hearsay as far as all we're
hearsay. That's the truth. Daniel was saying that too.
Hearsay.
I totally get that.
Right there, coming through.
My measure
end of the day
in parenting, and and being.
But I can also see another person's side of things. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Would I want to know what maybe, possibly, yes, I would, so I can make the best decisions for my children and warn them to be safe. I sent my kids with tasers. Many parents sent their kids with handguns after Christmas. That is scarier to me than anything. Because no frat should have a gun in it. Thank you very much. Or sorority house. Taser.
I mean, if they're over 21, then it's legal.
Well, I'm not getting into the argument of guns. I believe in the you know what? That's not where I'm at with that. I'm just saying I think that their age, their lack of maturity, their propensity for fun and drinking, and a gun may not be a great mix on camp. I don't know. That's just kind of common sense.
It's always going to happen, Gil.
How many of them had time to get sealed, permits or whatever?
It would be any other way.
To use it.
Anybody that wants to see some disagreement, again, man, on Friday nights, me and Dan will have it every once in a while, man. Like live, like me and him. They're like, well, okay. Either we, end up agreeing to disagree, or we always end up agreeing to disagree if it comes to that. Or I'll see his side, or he'll see my side, or you'll explain it a little bit, or come through. This endless text-based, chat-based fucking communication world that we're living in is fucked. Okay, it's horrible. It's impossible.
I told my kids not to use the tasers on each other, and what's the first thing they did? They just had to try it out. So they did. I'm like, well, that was stupid. Did it work? And it worked. I said, long enough for you to get out of there, but you're an idiot for doing it. But they're kids. They are young people out on their own on somebody else's dime for 4 years. They're supposed to be having the best time of their lives, and they're supposed to be walking in a gown and a cap and whatever tassels they earned next week. Some of those kids should have been there, and somebody's sister should be there to watch their sister walk, and that is tragic.
That is tragic, and that's what this is all about. But when I came on and I heard what was the alleged things that were being said, just some of them, and T-Rev couldn't divulge anything, and I haven't seen the email yet to read it.
And I've said before.
So you go.
Thanks for coming through, Pearl. Appreciate it.
Description in this email you sent to T-Rev that T-Rev's going to send to me so I can read it.
I did, and you're free to call me, and I do. I actually reached out to T-Rev and you first, but I couldn't get through because the phone line. Like I did one time, and then we got disconnected, and I thought, and then I did hear the Drunk Turkey Show, and I thought actually, and you can ask Daniel. I asked him. I said, "Are you Detective Juan?" He goes, "I'm not Detective Juan." I said, "Oh." But, he's turned out to be a great person, and he knows a lot. I tell him things privately before I say it, and Lana too. And
Creepy Crystal, I am fucking sorry that I missed your super. But I lost it. I don't think I could get that back, and I'm so fucking sorry that I missed that. Like, please forgive me. Like, this is the travesty of this whole fucking thing right now. Jesus Christ. I am so sorry. Right now, $11 coming through. Thank you for welcoming me. Gotta feed the herd. Thank you for coming through. Dogs Over Humans, again, best fucking name. You're gonna compete with the Barbie name, but that's good as shit. Here. Come on now with it, baby. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming through here. I appreciate that. But Creepy Crystal, I'm fucking sorry for that. That is definitely unlike me. I must have missed that at some point. This shit has been crazy as hell in here tonight. T-Rev's been in here. Thank you, T-Rev, Drunk Turkey, Dr. Thrifty, Dan for coming in here, Sam for modding, Kristen for modding, Jamie for modding, and everybody with all the different opinions for coming through here, guys. For love of God, we're just human beings trying to figure this son of a bitch out on planet Earth. It's not easy. It's not easy. We just ultimately, at the end of the day, want justice for the fucking Idaho 4 and to figure out what has happened here. That's what we really and truly want. Angel D coming through with the $2 super chat. I stand with Detective J. That dude fucking ruled. T-Rev, please. If he's down, he probably wouldn't be. I don't know. You guys seem to know each other, but he ruled. He fucking murdered it, dude. I was behind him on a lot of that questioning. It was killer. Hollis coming through with the $2. Thanks for a good reaction video. Absolutely. Oh, now, you're only going to get positive reaction videos from me. I'm not going to go fucking digging in the mud trying to throw shit on everybody. That's not going to happen here. If I disagree with somebody, I will say it. If I agree with somebody, I'm going to say it. But at the end of the day, I'm not burying anybody. If I truly didn't like T-Rev's content, I wouldn't be doing a reaction video. For anybody I truly don't fucking like or don't want to have anything to do with, I won't be doing reaction videos. Let's leave it at that, okay? If I like what's happening out there, I'm going to do a reaction video because I think there's a lot of cool content creators out there. T-Rev's one of them, Drunk Turkey, and some of these people watch the Obsession in here hanging out, dope-ass content creator. A lot of these people might not even agree on a lot of aspects. Dude, come on. At the end of the day, I think we can all still have the conversation, though, without biting each other's heads off. But Hollis, thank you so much. And yeah, you're only going to get a positive reaction video from Publicly Buzzed. I'm not going to be in here attacking anybody and throwing shit on nobody. Been fun as hell in here. And if they're in, I would suspect people that are mad about anything going on in the chat, you know, maybe they are the trolls. Because, you know, have a conversation. Make a joke about it. If anybody is truly bothering you in the chat, avoid it. You know, we're all adults here, I would hope. This is definitely an adult channel. Yeah, Flashbang Barbie. Badass name. I love that name. Yeah, it's been dope as hell. Dope as hell, if I could talk. I like Detective John Thrifty. I think T has left us, maybe. He's not talking anymore, but he was in here hanging out the whole time as well. Hopefully he felt like I gave this video justice. There was no disrespect intended whatsoever. I've done reaction videos for him in the past. His family always comes over and they're always welcome. We have a hope one day I would like to be on his show and I hope that he can be on mine. We've talked in chat before. I'm interested in that Spirit Box thing for a little bit in the after hours of Friday, but hell, just to talk about anything, I wouldn't give a shit, man. I know he does open panels. It's hard for me to do it because he does a lot of the daytime stuff, but that's going to work out hopefully soon. That'd be dope if he would have me on, you know. Life Critic 199 super sticker with the thanks heart. Appreciate that. ODB thanks you as well. Wu-Tang Clan. That was ODB. 1999 ODB. Oh my God, Kristen, thank you so much. Past your bedtime, I will talk to you tomorrow, I'm sure. Pookie. Everybody, thank you guys so much. Love everybody. Seriously. Try to end this thing on a positive note, guys. Even for 3434 JJJ, Kim. You know, I mean no ill will towards you, but my opinion personally is I think that you should probably stop lurking in these channels, coming on and even, I mean, if you're truly a part of if what you're saying is true, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing is what I'm saying. I mean, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. And even as I was alluding to Daniel, maybe it's the fact that you don't feel like anybody's truly listening. But I mean, what is out there is with the FBI and they're going to have to do the back leg work. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, that is my opinion. I will stick by that. Boom, I gotta know. $5 super chat coming through here. Thank you for the reaction video. No problem at all. Thank you for coming through here. Again, grow this son of a bitch. We're going to grow this thing to the moon, hopefully, baby. On positive vibes and positive energy. Thursday night, my brother should be joining me along with Jay from The Shaming of Jay. Go check out his YouTube channel. If you type it in right now, The Shaming of Jay, that shit's going to pop up. Dude, he's hilarious, first of all. He's the man. Like, he has a great Twitter. His Twitter, you know, it started blowing up from the Murdoch trial. He covered the Gwyneth Paltrow stuff really well. That's where I found him, actually. I started seeing his funny tweets, and all his tweets do really freaking well. Yeah, he's going to be hanging out on here, and I appreciate him for coming on here. He's going to continue to grow. He's got a really cool audience, a completely different audience as well. I think at the end of the day, we all just kind of got to come together. You know, ain't nobody gonna be doing nothing if we're just pushing each other apart. So ain't no reason. Oh my God, Creepy Crystal, you're never gonna let me live it down. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Here, have some extras. Have some extras. Forgive me. Dogs over humans distracted me with their name. I love dogs so fucking much, I don't even know. Okay? My dog is an adopted baby. I love her very much. She fucking rules. A little bit of the old messages here. Again, thank you all for hanging out, and we will be back, my friends, very soon. Before you know it, I hope everyone, again, subs up. This has been a good one, man. This has been a real good one, and I will be back in the future with more reaction videos. I've done it with Crime Circus. I've done it with Truth and Transparency. I've done it live with Drunk Turkey on their stuff. Yeah, I will continue to do that in the future, I'm sure. And I always have fun with those. And we always have the other channels. I think it's a good way to mesh up, right? It makes sense, but everybody wants to do those damn negative ones. Everybody wants to bash and fight to grow their channel. It doesn't make any damn sense, man. We need to grow a community that is not negative based, I believe, ultimately. Look at this, man. Chat's just full of love in here. Awesome. Trying to wrap this thing up, guys. Yeah, we'll get T-Rev on here, hopefully. Oh, definitely, right here. T-Rev, I would love to come up. I'm chilling back with the wifey and relaxing. Right there. We're going to work something out, guys. Get T-Rev on here, 100%. He says he's going to be going live in the morning. I'll probably jump in there and be chatting as well. 100%, bro. 100%, man. Everybody. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Threads, for being here. Appreciate it. Everybody, seriously. Look at this, man. In and on fucking love, y'all. That's amazing. This is crazy. Y'all gonna tear me up right now. Y'all gonna tear me up right now with this love coming through here. Look at this. My God. Everybody wanting to, you know what I mean? Everybody, at the end of the day, this is gonna be a terrible fight. They're gonna be fighting, you know. No, man. Come on. Let's bring it together, my people. And they're still coming through here. Love it. Thank you all. Trying to read all these before I get out of here. T-Rev, the Publicly Buzzed gang is always happy to have you and your group. 100%. 100%. Nothing but love. Publicly Buzzed from C. Bro, thank you. You put this all in context. I listened to this on T-Rev, and I'm glad you did this with Daniel. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. That's what I was kind of going for here. And a lot of people, you know, if you don't agree, that's fine too, guys. It's cool. It's okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at this right here. The love that's coming through is crazy. Rosen is going to get something a little special, though. Love it with the $2. Coming through. Great show. Thank you. And I love that pirate flag, brother. Pirates to the end. Am I right? Yeah, we're going to make this happen. We'll get T-Rev on here. Hell, I'm going to come on Watt's Obsession. If she'll have me, I'll talk to everybody, man. Let's go. Growing this thing. Growing this thing. Thank you, 3434 JJJ. I don't mean any disrespect. All right, yeah, we're going to be hanging tomorrow. All right, I'm finally caught up. Jesus Christ. Woo! What a show. That might be my biggest live ever, folks. Thank you, T-Rev. That's a fucking reaction video to T-Rev. I know I had a lot of different channels in here. This is a hot subject. A lot of people are sensitive on this. Thank you, Daniel from Drunk Turkey Show, for coming through. This is we're gonna keep rocking and rolling here on Publicly Buzzed. I'm gonna turn this at 11:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, guys. I'm gonna be Going to be closing her up here, closing up shop. As you head out the door, please hit the like. That really helps me out. We've reached a lot of fucking folks tonight. Had a lot of people come through here. We're reaching 5K. We're trying to hit that 5K milestone, and we'll be having another party when we do that. So, yeah, join T-Rev in the morning on his show. He's going to be going live. Tomorrow night, join Drunk Turkey Show, 8:30, about 8:30, 8:40. They usually go live. And me, Thursday, 9 p.m. Unless I go live tomorrow randomly, who knows? You never know if something breaks. There's so many fucking terrible cases going on in the United States. I actually plan to do something again after this, but we went hard here tonight, and hopefully we've had a good one with everybody. I know that I've had fun in here with everybody tonight, and we're ending it on super positive vibes. So, all right, guys, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Again, Thursday night, hit the like as you go out. I'm really ending it this time. I'm really gonna go. I'm really out of here.
See, we shoot them up bang bang over here. We not scared of they motherfucking ass.